think about your placement, right?
Yes.
And for a girl like Thesley that we know really likes to get inside, it's interesting to see how she'll match up with that. She did it well last year. That was kind of probably one of the better improvements to her game was figuring out how to deal with those tall post players.
She definitely found a way around them, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it'll be an early test of that here tonight. Stewart, as I mentioned, a two-year starter, a senior, but one that just hasn't quite been super called upon to be a big-time player in terms of contributing on the offensive side. Really just been more of a defensive piece, so I wonder how she's going to fill in on that offensive role. For Weatherford as well, they do have some youngsters that are stepping up. Harley Chisholm will be a sophomore this year. She was a freshman last year. And then Maria Teasley, another sophomore, as a freshman last year, that saw some time and was able to contribute pretty well. Also throw in Shyla Navarra in that, another sophomore. Coach Gibbons calls her the hardest working player on the team. So you've got a trio of sophomores there that we just mentioned that have seen the trio of seniors, the Hoffmans and Stewart, really put in some big time work, if you will, over the last few years, or the last 2 years. And I sure will see it with the Boomer side of things with Thesley and Avery kind of rubbing off on the younger girls there, the underclassmen. When you have tone setters out there on the court and those seniors that know how to get it done, it seems like that really progresses the development of those youngsters.
I feel like it does. And a good example would go to a boys team in Kingfisher.
Yeah. Yep.
Bijan Cortez, that is a great example. The way that he kind of led the squad and showed those youngsters how to play the game, but also to coach them. And then now look at Bijan. He plays for the University of Oklahoma, and he's kind of one of the names that Toby Irwin has been using on the radio lately. He's really talked a lot about him as well as the program. Their focus is on Bijan right now.
Yeah, and then Kingfisher side of that, to add to that, they see him as a role model even now,
yes.
Contributing to OU, because you could tell last year watching that Kingfisher squad, which we had to see because the Woodward boys had to play them there at the regionals. Like, there was no drop down from production. You think with losing two Division I players, because not only was Cortez, of course, an OU commit and is playing at the next level, but Matthew Stone was a forward on that team, and he committed to North Texas. Everybody's thinking, oh, Kingfisher will fall off. That didn't happen. So.
No, they had another guy that kind of just filled the role.
Had quite a few guys, yeah.
Not just
up.
one, but they had another young man that really kind of took over, kind of like Bijan did. And with him and his teammates, they were almost unstoppable.
Yeah, Chase Davis, you were talking about there. And, it's just a lot of key contributors on that team. And you hope, whether you're Coach Givens or you're Coach Moore, that those type of players could have that effect. Whether it be a Thesley Pfeiffer, whether it be the Hoffmans for the Boomers, for sure. And we mentioned Coach Moore, of course, got that first one under the belt, got the nerves out of the way. And, Dakota, I just want to talk about with her, and I think you guys mentioned, you and Godwin mentioned it throughout the end of the game there. The conditioning of this team looks like it's already in mid-season form. That was one thing that it seemed like she really dialed in on, was making sure that, hey, if we're going to play this up-tempo, up-and-down style where we're really looking to get transition points all the time off those steals, that we got to be conditioned for that. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that stood out to me on Friday night was there really was no huffing and puffing. There was no, somebody with their head down tired. They looked like they were ready to play another game.
And that's a good thing, too, because you take a look on Avery Edwards, who's going to be that lady that might step up? Well, you have an all-state runner from cross country on the
Chloe
team.
Clements, yeah. Breaking records, the freshman.
And you could tell out there in that Clinton game last week when she got her minutes, she didn't seem winded. She was out there just giggling and having fun, passing the ball around. So I think that you said that very well. This team is very well conditioned, and if Weatherford doesn't have the conditioning that Woodward has, can that play effect? And can they get them tired out, winded out? Trading players in and out of the game. That's something we're gonna have to see.
It absolutely will be. Well, the boys JV has finished. The girls have taken the court. We've got about just over 5 minutes or so towards tip-off. Just to update that while we've on it. The girls JV, as mentioned, they pretty much got doubled up by Weatherford there, 47. I think it had about 20, 21 on the girls. And then the boys, Weatherford JV pushed over 50. The boys about 22, 23. So unfortunately, JV's squad's fall tonight, but it's the varsity's turn, and they're ready to get it going here in just a few minutes. We'll step aside for our final break, and on the other side, most likely should probably have the national anthem, starting lineups, and some keys to the game for the Boomers. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Boomer TV and Z92. And welcome back to Boomer Basketball here on Z92. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you, and we're just a few minutes away from getting things going here. Both squads are out, they're warming up, going through their drills. Crowd is filling in. Pretty nice venue over here in Weatherford. Kind of reminds me of a lot of the Woodward venue, very similar design as to Boomer Fieldhouse, where you got your two levels, you know, your dual around. It's become kind of a popular style, I think, for a lot of high schools because it's just, it's a solid looking, you know, aesthetically pleasing part of it, and you got plenty of space, and you get kind of, I think, some open access, if you will, it seems like. But let's talk about some keys to the game, Dakota, for the Woodward girls here. We've run through all that Weatherford has to offer. They're well coached. They're deadly from inside and out. So I think some of the big things that I have kind of the lead here on that would definitely be for the girls that you're going to have to try to be able to match stride for stride with Weatherford. I know that sounds simple, but this team really plays at a good pace. Not to say they can't slow it down and settle in a half court, but you're going to have to be toe-to-toe with them. It is going to be a full 32-minute game. You're not going to have time to really breathe and catch your breath because they will leave you in the dust quick. And I think another thing that I'm interested to see how it develops. Last year, early in the game, Weatherford was able to break the Woodward pressure quite well. We saw that multiple times, and it kind of got them that lead and allowed them to pull away from the Boomers in that area tournament. But can Woodward get the pressure on this year? Is it going to be where you're going to have to be able to adjust if you're the Boomers? What do you have as far as a couple of your keys?
I mean, I think one thing that one of my keys is the biggest key, and that's going to have to be you stop the Hoffman girls. You take away two of the biggest leading scorers probably going to be in this game tonight.
Yeah.
That is going to be big. If you stop these girls, they may have one or two other players to maybe get things rolling, but it's not going to be hard for Woodward to cover those other girls, in my opinion. But if you cover the Hoffmans, you got a really good chance at bringing this with a W back home.
It's definitely easier than it sounds because they are tough to stop. I agree with you. If you could make somebody else beat you, you probably have a good chance. All right, we do have the national anthem coming up here, so I will turn it over to the PA announcer.
High School and the Eagle Snatch for tonight's action between the Woodward Boomers and your Weatherford Eagles. A few reminders, restrooms are located on the upper level at the east end of the gym and on the west side of the lobby area. Concessions are located on the upper level east end in the lobby area. Weatherford Public Schools is a tobacco-free school. Use of tobacco in any way, shape, or form, including vapes, is not permitted at any school facility, including this gymnasium. Also, no alcoholic beverages are allowed in the gym. Ethics, integrity, and respect are values important in our daily lives. All of these important values are learned by participation in interscholastic activity programs. Coaches should set good examples for players and fans. Participants should treat officials, coaches, and opponents with respect. Fans are role models for everyone sitting around them. The things you say and the way you hear, please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps as we honor our country and remember our troops with the singing of our national anthem. Performed tonight by Weatherford High School junior Avery Bradley and Weatherford High School sophomore Ryan.
And a beautiful rendition there of the national anthem by a couple of the Weatherford ladies, the junior and sophomore. And now we get to the starting lineups. Starting here for your Woodward Boomers, it'll be junior Lily Luckett getting the nod as she fills in for Avery Edwards. It'll be number 13, the senior Thesley Pfeiffer. Number 14, the junior Jocelyn Treese. It'll be the sophomore, number 21, Briley Douglas Fisher. And the sophomore, the junior. Yeah, she's already junior. Good grief. The junior, Riley Moore, number 22 there for the Boomers, stepping into the starting line. For the home-standing Weatherford Eagles, it will be number 0, Dasha Givens, the freshman wing there. It will be number 2, Riley Epp, the sophomore. It will be number 11, Maria Teasley, the sophomore. It'll be number 25, the senior, Jordan Hoffman. It'll be number 33, the senior, Kennedy Stewart. And so there is your stars, and Addie Hoffman, number 5, the senior as well. So for the Eagles, it'll be number 0, Desasia Givens. It'll be number 5, Addie Hoffman, number 11, Marley Teasley, number 25, Jordan Hoffman, and number 33, Kenny Stewart for the Boomers. Lily Luckett getting the nod, number 3 there. Number 14, Jocelyn Treese, number 21, Briley Douglas Fisher, and number 13, Thesley Pfeiffer, as well as 14. We got 8 minutes on the clock. Glad you joined us here tonight in Weatherford. And I think fans are about to get rocking. To go to the student section over there for Weatherford. Interesting. They've got kind of some early Christmas gear, it looks like, going on. I see Santa, I see some elves.
I think it's Christmas themed edition here tonight at Weatherford High School.
Everybody on their feet here in the PA get into it. We're about to get into it. 5 or 8 minutes on the clock. It will be Stewart and Pfeiffer tipping. And the tip is up, and it is won and controlled by Weatherford. And it'll be out there to the wing to Givens. Now they'll swing it to the quarter to Teasley. Back up to Givens. Top of the key, they'll give it up to Epp. Epp looking, swing it back over to Givens right now. Boomers doing a good job of trying to deny that paint look As Epp has it up top, they're just playing catch between Givens and Epp. Now into the corner, it'll go to Teasley. And swinging it back around. Weatherford being patient on his first possession. Now inside to Stewart. She's going to drive baseline, feed it down inside, looking for Jordan Hoffman, who's going to get fouled, trying to power it up. And Jordan Hoffman going to the line. Dakota, that's what we were talking about just a second ago. Weatherford can go fast, but they can also slow it down like we saw there, really dissect it.
That's one thing you don't want to get her is to the line because she'll probably going to knock down those free throws.
And the foul, they put it on to Stinnett, but Stinnett is not a starter. It should be Lily Luckett if they got on that. So it'll be the first free throw, no good by Stewart, or excuse me, by Hoffman, Jordan Hoffman. It's kind of surprising. Usually pretty dead-eye free throw shooter, and there's the second one ain't good. So Weatherford with the first lead, 1-0, just underway here. Desley Pfeiffer the other way, breaks the press. She goes down into the paint, and there's a foul. She trucked over. Looked like Kenny Stewart. Stewart tried to slide in there and take the charge, but Desley Pfeiffer will draw the block. Not a shooting foul, they will call it. So it'll be an inbounds for the Boomers, but the first foul for Weatherford there. Kenny Stewart picking up her first. Inbounding will be Riley Moore. She'll get out to Jocelyn Treese up top. Now tries to go Lily Luckett, cutting side, but picked off and stolen by Teasley. She'll go the other way for the Eagles. Get out to Givens on the right wing. Now the right corner to Teasley. Up top, they'll go to Jordan Hoffman. Now back to Epp, over to Givens for a quick three. The freshman launches, that's no good. Sky high rebound taken by Stewart. She's on the elbow, she'll pop from there. That shot's no good. Underneath, Jordan Hoffman with the board, and she will draw the foul yet again, trying to power up on the second chance opportunity. And Jordan Hoffman back to the line.
I think she's going to get number 21, Douglas Fisher. I think she got a slap on the arm there.
Yeah, I think you're correct. Jordan Hoffman slid in there and got that position on Briley, and unfortunately, she did commit the foul. Free throw for Jordan Hoffman. This one is good. Only 2 points of the game so far as we're just underway here in the first quarter. 6:58 to go. Weatherford leads 2-0. Jordan Hoffman trying to extend that with another free throw, and it is good. So the Eagles lead 3-0 now over the Boomers, and we got a whistle. Double dribble, unfortunately, on the Boomers. They get Thesley with the double dribble there.
Yeah, she's going a little too fast there.
Trying to break that pressure, so Weatherford will get it right back. Taking it on the inbound will be Epp. She'll swing around to Givens, down to the corner to Teasley. She'll shoot the three from there, and good from the left corner. Harley Teasley for three, and Weatherford out to a 6-0 lead to start this one. The Boomers the other way. Thesley under pressure. She gets stripped away and stolen from her by Jordan Hoffman, but then Hoffman commits the travel, and it'll be turned right back over to Boomers. Bit of a break there, Dakota.
Yeah, got Thesley kind of just stole it around her arm, and then she went a little too fast there, and got to travel. Fortunately, Boomers catch a break, like you said.
Moore inbound it to the left elbow to Pfeiffer. She goes up and under and is fouled, trying to get the shot up in the paint. We'll see who they get. Had a couple of options there for Weatherford. And that'll be on Braylee Epp. So it'll be her first for Weatherford. Thesley Pfeiffer to the line with a chance to try to get the Boomers on the board as they trail 6-0 with 6:31 to go in the first quarter. First free throw is good for Thesley, so she's on the board with a point.
See if she can knock down the second one.
Just something to get her a bit calmed down, you think?
Yep.
Free throws.
There we go.
Oh, second one runs out, no good. Rebound taken by Givens. She'll give it over to Epp. Jocelyn Treese trying to press her, though. Epp with the dribble, still in the backcourt, needs to get across the timeline, gets a screen, now feeds up to Givens. Ooh. Givens stops, kicks out to the corner. Teasley again from that corner. That one's too strong, though. It's missed. It's out of bounds. No, it was rebounded by Douglas Fisher, but she stepped on the inline trying to save it, and it'll stay here with Weatherford.
Thought she was maybe going to get a push call there, but unfortunately did not.
So inbounding will be Teasley. Finds Jordan Hoffman in the paint. She puts up the quick shot. No good. Second opportunity by Teasley. That's no good. Now Hoffman again. A third chance. That's a miss. And now underneath on the rebound, Treese will go to the floor, and we got a foul.
I think they're going to get Jordan or Addie.
They got Jordan with that one. 25 there.
If we can get Jordan Hoffman into foul trouble early on, that will definitely be nice.
It would be good for the Boomers, as it's 3 too early in the fouls. A foul by Stewart, Hoffman, and Epp so far for Weatherford. The other way, Thesley Pfeiffer will take it top of the key. Now feeds it into the left corner to Riley Moore. She'll dribble it back out. Check strong there by Teasley. Teasley still on her. Moore with the dribble. She slips. She loses the handle. Treese comes up with the loose ball, though. Now to Pfeiffer on the left wing. Thinking about the shot, but holding. Now begins the dribble. Picked up by Jordan Hoffman out there. That's a tough matchup. Now Douglas Fisher at the top of the key. Dribble down and stripped away and stolen That's taken by Kenny Stewart. Behind the back dribble, it's a 2-on-1. Jordan Hoffman calling for it. She misses the shot, though. Missed the bunny underneath. Rebound by Pfeiffer. She'll take it the other way in transition. Pfeiffer into the paint, gets stopped at the right elbow, has to kick it back out up top to Luckett. Now left wing, Douglas Fisher for three. That one off, no good, strong. Rebound on the backside, though, by Jocelyn Treese. She tries to feed it over to Thesley Pfeiffer, but Givens able to jump in and knock away that pass. Deja Givens, the freshman.
We got a timeout, Woodward.
And we do have an early timeout here by the Boomers, so 6-1, Weatherford on top with 5:15 to go in the first quarter. We will step aside with them. This is Boomer Basketball on Z92. And welcome back to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you. Coming out a timeout here by the Boomers. They trail 6-1 with 5:15 to go in this first quarter to the Eagles. Dakota, I think a chance there for Coach Moore to try to reset things for her Boomers.
Yeah, I really want to get something offensively going here, trying to get our first actual basket of the game here.
Out of the timeout, Pfeiffer, top of the key, she'll drive, feed it down to Douglas Fisher. Can't come up with the handle and loses it out of bounds. It'll be back to Weatherford. Unfortunate as Douglas Fisher looked like she had worked herself into some decent position underneath the basket. Weatherford the other way now. Teasley will get it up to Kenny Stewart on the left wing. She'll try to drive, gets double teamed. Pass stolen by Pfeiffer. Couldn't save it though as she went out of bounds trying to save a good effort from Thesley. Read that all the way.
Very good effort, Matt Thesley there.
So inbound will be Maria Teasley, or Marley Teasley, excuse me. I'll say Maria. Teasley out there on the left wing. Feeds it to Stewart in the left corner. She goes behind the back. Good defense by Douglas Fisher. Now a double team with Luckett. Has it feed out up top, does Stewart. They'll swing it around to the right corner to Teasley. Back to Givens. Now left wing. They go to Epp. She feeds it back to Givens. Open on that right wing. She'll try to drive. Gets stopped there by Jocelyn Treese. Now out to Epp on the wing as Weatherford being patient, trying to dissect things. Have not seen Annie Hoffman in the ball game quite yet. She may be out tonight. Not quite sure. Did not hear that from Coach Givens, but now they'll swing it around inside to Epp. Epp going to put up the shot. She's fouled. Good movement there by Weatherford to find a cutting Epp. And Braley Epp will go to the line for a couple of free throws. And they got Jocelyn Treese with the foul. That will be her first, 13 foul for the Boomers.
Boomers really haven't found like an open shot yet, it seems like.
No, Weatherford's done a fantastic job. First free throw was good by Epp. Harley Chisholm into the ball game. We talked about her as a sophomore a minute ago in the pregame. She's in for, looks like, for Givens. Second free throw from Epp. That is no good. And it will go out of bounds. I think it went off of Boomer. There you go, off of Boomer. It did, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
Tough break there, so you get the missed free throw, but you can't come up with the board. Teasley unbound. She'll get it into Stewart. Left block. Up and under move by Stewart. Off glass, too strong. Rebound underneath by Riley Moore. Boomer's taking it the other way. Pfeiffer now across the timeline on the pass. Top of the key. She'll drive into the paint. Stops, pops. Puts up a tough one over Hoffman. That's no good. Rebounded by Epp. Epp feeds it up to Hoffman, who's streaking the other way in transition. And she's got the layup good. Weatherford now leads 9-1 here on the Boomers. 3:45 to go in this first quarter. Woodward trying to find their first actual basket. Just had a free throw so far. Riley Moore, right wing, top key. Pfeiffer will take a three. That's good. Leslie Pfeiffer showing off the range.
Finally got open enough just to shoot one, and here we go.
And now turnover by Weatherford. Boomers force it. Pfeiffer makes a person blow by. That was Teasley. And Pfeiffer with the bucket. No, excuse me, that was Chisholm, but Leslie Pfeiffer starting out strong. She's got 6, all 6 for the Boomers. It's 9-6. Weatherford the other way. Breaking that press, Teasley, left wing. Now up top of the key, they'll settle in with Braley Epp. She'll swing it around to Chisholm. Top of the key to Epp. Now about the free throw line to Jordan Hoffman. Back out to Epp. Trying to be patient with the Boomers here. Inside to Stewart. Stewart going to take a tough leaner from there, and that's good on the baseline. Kidney Stewart kept it high and made the basket.
She is much more than I expected what I was going to see tonight of Kennedy Stewart.
Well, we talked about if she could step up. So far, she's done good both ways for Weatherford. Now a travel here, unfortunately, by Jocelyn Treese as she was trying to drive the other way for the Boomers, but got cut off and took that extra step. So 2:48 to go in this first quarter. 11-6. Weatherford on top of Woodward.
Got some subs coming in here.
Deja Givens coming back in, and Shyla Navari, the other sophomore we talked about in the pregame, she will be in. This will be Givens, Navarra, Epp, as well as Chisholm and Stewart out there. No, excuse me, that's not Stewart. That would be Brindley Glassy. So that's a 5 for Weatherford. Boomers still rolling with their starting 5. Top of the key. Weatherford swinging it around now on the right wing to Epp. Back up to Var, inside free throw line. Kicked out to Epp on the wing. She'll drive. Gets through the Boomers. Puts up the layup. The open one. It missed, though. Strong. That Douglas Fisher going to throw away the pass after getting the board. And now an and one on the drive by Harley Chisholm. Got into that right block. Attacked Riley Douglas Fisher. And it's an and one for Weatherford. So basket good. Chisholm on the board and a foul on Douglas Fisher.
I think that's going to be her second.
That will be her second and the 4th overall.
I see what's wrong here. The player fouls. The light's not lit
Right.
on this side, but it is on that side.
The and one free throw by Chisholm is good, so she's got 3, and it's 14-6. Boomers the other way. Leslie Pfeiffer into the paint. That's no good. Rebound taken by her. She got it back and got the layup in and good.
Now Leslie Pfeiffer's kind of starting to get that rhythm there.
She has got all 8 of the Boomer points, 14-8 right now. Weatherford working it around. A quick 3 from Harley Chisholm. That's short, no good. Rebound nicely there by Lily Luck as it came to her. She'll feed back to Riley Moore. Moore going to feed up to Pfeiffer. The Boomers going to slow it down just a touch. Try and get this offense set up. I say that. Pfeiffer tried to throw it into Michelle Barrow, who's into the ball game, but overshot her by a good amount. It'll be back to Weatherford. Michelle had kind of worked her way down there. Unfortunate they couldn't find it.
Yeah, I think that Kelly Stewart was down there. No, that's not correct. She's
That'd be
Kennedy Stewart. She's not there.
Yeah, that was probably Chisholm or Gasly. Weatherford working around the other way. They do feed into Gasly. She can't handle the pass, though, but it's going to go out of bounds off of Riley Moore, they'll say. Good feed there from Epp. But not received well from Brindley. Get Glassy. And Jordan Hoffman back into the ball game.
That's dangerous.
Inbounding here will be Chisholm. She'll feed it to Glassly. Now back up to Chisholm in the right corner. Double team. Has to give up to Givens. Left wing, that's Hoffman for 3. That one's strong, no good. Rebound fought for. Hoffman's got it. Luckett got knocked down. Hoffman takes the 3 from the left corner. Strong again. Rebound still fought for. Thesley trying to come up with it. Finally, it's Jocelyn Treese that does. Now they've got a foul as Treese was good surrounded right there. It was about to throw some elbows.
I think they got number 1 there.
That'd be Shyla Var.
Yep.
So that's the team 4th, her first, 14-8. Boomers trailing, but they have possession with 1:05 here to go in the first quarter.
Looks like Thesley just might have to take this on herself.
She might. Top of the key. Nice behind the back dribble move. Gets cut off, though. Kicks out to Moore. Moore will take the 3 from the left wing. That's good! Nothing but net from Riley Moore. A confident shot. And she's the first Boomer that's not Leslie Pfeiffer to score. It's 14-11. The Boomers have cut this back. They were down 9-1 early.
It was a beautiful shot.
45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Thesley almost comes up with the still top of the key on Hoffman, but she'll drive, try to feed it over to Glassly, and that's out of bounds as Glassly wasn't quite ready for the pass. It'll be a turnover by Weatherford. Boomers have really fought their way back into it here. 35 seconds to go in the quarter. They could tie here if you get another 3. Pfeiffer has it across the timeline now, picked up by Harley Chisholm. The right wing to Luckett. Treese top the key when I have it. She's double teamed, loses the handle, got poked away. Jordan Hoffman comes up with it. She feeds it up to an open Chisholm for the layup, and that's good. Harley Chisholm with her 5th point of the night. It's 16-11. First quarter, Pfeiffer takes it the other way. Top of the key, 10 seconds. Now feeds it down to Barra on the block. Back to Pfeiffer, a tough shot inside. That's a little short, no good. Barra comes up the board, back Pfeiffer, 2 seconds. 1, she gets the shot up, and that's no good. And that's how we end the quarter. Woodward crowd was 1 to foul. It's not going to happen. We end after 1 with Weatherford up 16-11 over your Boomers. We'll step aside for a quick break. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92. Back here on Z92 Boomer Basketball, Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you. Also live on Boomer TV as we begin the second quarter. Weatherford leads 16-11 over Woodward. And leading scorers there in that quarter for Weatherford, 5 apiece for Harley Chisholm and Kenny Stewart. Or excuse me, Jordan Hoffman. Stewart had 2, Teasley with 3, Braley F with 1. For the Boomers, just 2 scorers, Dakota. Thesley Pfeiffer with 8 and Riley Moore with a 3. Boomers will start with it to begin the quarter. It'll be Treese inbounding to Lily Luckett. Boomers going right to the left across your dial in front of us, wearing their road blacks and gold. Weatherford wearing their home white and red. Leslie Pfeiffer has on the left wing. She stopped. Hoffman came up with the stop, and now Givens comes up with the steal on the pass, going the other way. Stops, feeds it back to Hoffman. And a good job there by Deja Givens to get the assist to Jordan Hoffman. And Weatherford now leads 18-11. Boomers the other way, more top the key. She'll try to drive, puts up a tough leaner. That's no good off the glass. Rebound, loose, fought for. Luckett saved it, but gave it to an Eagle. It's Hoffman the other way with Teasley down on the block. Moore comes up with the transition defense, gets stopped, but Kenny Stewart inside gets up a shot off the glass, no good, and it's out of bounds off of Boomer.
It's unfortunate. I really thought that Riley Moore got Kennedy Stewart's hand on that to go out of bounds, but unfortunately, it's Weatherford's ball.
It'll be Marley Teasley inbounding for the Eagles. She'll get out to the elbow, the left elbow. Stewart, she's double team, has to feed over to Givens in the right corner. Barely got there. Treats on her. Now Pfeiffer steps up. Givens with no dribble. They'll swing it around. Teasley left wing. Top the key now to Chisholm. Givens now to the baseline. Stewart was blocked. Good job by Jocelyn Treese coming in there. Rebound, fought forward, it's loose. Treese comes up with it. Feeds it up to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer in transition, guarded by Hoffman. Now she's double teamed, gets out of it, but loses the handle. They are really hounding her. Weatherford comes up with the other way. Teasley to Hoffman. She'll drive on Moore. Shot's no good. Moore goes to the ground. Rebound by Teasley. She puts it up off the glass high and in. As Riley Moore was stuck under the basket, couldn't really do anything, and we got a timeout lead by the Boomers. As Weatherford now leads 20-11 with 6:38 to go in this first half. With the full timeout, we will step aside with them. We're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92. And welcome back to Boomer Basketball on Z92. Co Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you. Boomers trail 20-11 right now to the Weatherford Lady Eagles. And Dakota, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, no Avery Edwards tonight for the Boomers as she is sick, and hopefully she will get better in the coming days. But now you're without your point guard, and unfortunately for the Boomers, kind of showing early here because Weatherford really is blitzing Thesley Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like without Avery Edwards, there's always an open Eagle out there on the floor for a three-point shot or close near it.
Yeah, defensively, she's been missed as well. They've got some transition buckets. You mentioned the threes as well. Boomers will have it out of the timeout, though. Treese will get the inbound. She's double teamed, gets to the right wing, though. Now she's ran out of space to dribble, and do we have a foul? No. They're saying she stepped on the sideline on the far side. It's out of bounds back to the Eagles. So they trapped her and got the turnover. Givens will have it across the timeline for the Eagles. Top of the key, picks up her dribble. Now swings it over to Chisholm into the left corner to Kenny Stewart. She goes cross-court right wing to Givens. Now the right corner to Teasley. Teasley has to feed it back out to Givens, who will walk it to the top of the key and go high left wing out to Chisholm. Chisholm guarded by Lou Luckett. Now back to Givens. They've been playing that too high. They send it cross-court. Teasley for a three from the corner. That's short air ball. But underneath was given for the rebound. She blew the bunny. Hoffman gets board inside. She'll draw the foul. Powering it back up. Jordan Hoffman, that's about third or fourth time tonight she's been able to draw that foul down low.
That's going to be on Michelle Ibarra there for the Boomers. She's going to pick up a foul.
It will be her first, team fifth. And the first free throw from Hoffman, a rare miss again. She's missed 2 here tonight. She's got 7, though, for the Eagles so far, and they lead 20-11. 5:58 to go in this first half. Second free throw for Hoffman does splash home. So she's got 8, and Weatherford now leads 21-11.
Bar is going to come out. Looks like Douglas Fisher is going to come in.
So Lily Luckett, Riley Moore, Douglas Fisher, Leslie Pfeiffer, and Jocelyn Treese, the starting five, now back out there together. Pfeiffer gets her across the timeline to Douglas Fisher. She's double teamed to left wing, poked from behind by, looks like, Harley Chisholm, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Boomers, but Weatherford right now really wreaking havoc with those double teams as soon as you get across half court. Douglas Fisher will inbound from the deep corner on the baseline. Tries to get into Jocelyn Treese, and that is tipped out of bounds before it could get to her again by Harley Chisholm, the sophomore, active in those passing lanes.
Fast on the fingers, that's for sure.
So Douglas Fisher this time will inbound in front of the Weatherford student section on the side. Tries to feed it to Pfeiffer, who's in the paint. That's stolen away by Givens. Now it's on the floor as nobody can handle it. And do we have a foul? No,
Jump
a jump ball. Possession arrow will side, though, with the Eagles, unfortunately, for the Boomers. That was a pass where you're trying to find Thesley right in her sweet spot in the paint, but boy, she had about 3 or 4 Eagles surrounded. Inbound here will be Marley Teasley. She'll get it into Hoffman. Now back to Teasley. Cross court up to Kenny Stewart, left wing. She's going to try to drive, picks up her dribble, goes cross court right corner to Givens. Givens, a bounce pass to Teasley. She loses the handle, but goes right back to Givens in the right corner. Givens floats it over to Chisholm, who's on the high left wing, goes to the top of the key. Now feeds it right wing to Givens. She's just going to tee up a 3 from there. That one's often been no good, but strong. Kenny Stewart chases down the long rebound, though. Keeps possession for Weatherford. Chisholm with it. We'll go top of the key to Stewart. 5:05 to go in this half. Now 3 on the way from Jordan Hoffman. She was left open, and that one's strong again. Rare that she misses that much from 3, but she hadn't been able to hit one tonight. Rebound, though, again corralled by Weatherford. Stewart has it top of the key, so the Boomers having trouble trying to corral those rebounds. Givens has it on the right wing, the freshman. Top of key, she will go now to Chisholm on the left wing, back up to Hoffman. Hoffman in the paint to Givens. She'll go up and under, now step back, shot from the free throw line, that's strong, no good. Rebound, Riley Moore this time will corral it for the Boomers, and she feeds up to Thesley Pfeiffer, who's going to say, let's slow it down as soon as she gets across half court here. Boomers trail 21-11, 4:25 to go in the half. Douglas Fisher now with it below the free throw line. I think she double dribbled. She did, as the defense is intense right now from the Eagles.
Very, very intense. I mean, especially the Pep Club, you know, getting hyped up too.
Yeah, got a little bit of those rowels every time right there, them kind of flaring up. Weatherford the other way. Teasley will take it across the timeline on the right side. Feeds back to Hoffman, top of the key. She'll direct some traffic. Now go right wing to Teasley. Back up to Hoffman. Swing around to the left corner to Chisholm for a quick 3 from there. That one's short, no good. Rebound, though, as Teasley skies in, knocks it out of bounds off a Boomer. That was Jocelyn Treese. She knocked it off of, and it'll stay with the Eagles yet again. 21-11. Weatherford leads 4:06 to go in the half. Now on the inbound inside, Jordan Hoffman will draw another foul underneath the basket, going up for a shot. And that one, that's going to be Riley Moore. They're going to say it's not a shooting foul, though, it looks like. They're going to say Moore tied her up, essentially, but did it with too much contact. Moore's first. Inbound, that will go to Chisholm. She's open for the jumper. That's no good. The paint rebounded underneath by Douglas Fisher. She's triple teamed. Now a jump ball. Thankfully, the possession arrow stays with the Boomers, but hey, you got to keep that ball high next time.
You do. I mean, they're just going to strip it right from her hands every single time.
So Boomers will have it the other way, trailing by 10, 21-11, 3:50 to go now in the half. Pfeiffer will get across the timeline, picks up a dribble, needs some help, tries to bounce it to Riley Moore. Pfeiffer gets it back, though, off Moore's hands. Now a shot in the paint, driving. That one's a bit strong. Pfeiffer gets her own board back, trying to go up on Stewart. Has it feed it to Moore. It's off Moore's foot. She loses the handle. Now it's towards the sideline. Luckett tries to save it, but can't. And that is back to the Eagles again. Weatherford just marking up the paint to cover.
They have just kind of taken control early in the first quarter and just kind of haven't let up since then. And unfortunately, we just haven't been able to make our way to crawl back in this one.
Yeah, Boomers have had a tough time trying to get anything consistent going right now. Eagles the other way with it, as Chisholm will have it high right wing. She'll go cross court left wing to Epp, who's back in the ballgame. Now feeds it back to Chisholm in the right corner. Top of the key to Epp as she's looking around for something inside. They've got Teasley down the left block, Stewart on the right block, and Givens out on the free throw line. Now Stewart has it, right block, couple moves, turns around, takes the jumper. That one a bit offline. Good rebound by Riley Moore, gets it to Jocelyn Treese. Treese now in transition, will get across the timeline. She's guarded by Teasley. Has to pick up her dribble. Now finds Riley Moore about the free throw line. She'll stop, pop for the shot. That one looked like it might have been all line, but it's off, no good. Riley Douglas Fisher swats it out of bounds, trying to battle with Kennedy Stewart there. Now go back to Eagles. That's a tough assignment for the young sophomore.
Definitely a size difference there. I mean, Kennedy Stewart is pretty tall. You know, she looks like a good wingspan on her too.
Jordan Hoffman back into the ball game after a quick breather for Weatherford. We've got left wing now to Chisholm, though. She'll feed over to Hoffman. Beside her, gets a screen. Hoffman, though, goes cross-court right wing to Chisholm for a quick three, and that's no good. Bit offline. Good rebound underneath by Riley Douglas Fisher, but Riley Moore throws it away, looking for Lily Luckett, but Luckett didn't see it coming. That's over into the Weatherford fans there. Some of the students out of bounds back to the Eagles. Fortunately, a lot of turnovers in this first half for the Boomers, and that's a big credit to what Weatherford's been able to do.
Their defense is just kind of unstoppable like their offense right now.
21-11, 2:15 to go in this first half. Weatherford with it at top of the key. Goes left corner to Hoffman. Hoffman going to drive baseline, puts up a tough shot. That's no good. Good defense underneath by Riley Moore. She'll come up with the rebound. Pfeiffer will get it now across the timeline the other way for the Boomers. Feeds over to the corner. Treese open for three. She'll take it. That one's strong, no good. Long rebound, though. Luckett will chase down, throw it off an Eagle. But Hoffman comes up with the down transition. Jordan Hoffman, 2-on-1 situation. Bounce pass over to Stone, up with the shot, or excuse me, to Chisholm. Talking about her brother, Stone Chisholm. But she takes the layup on the block. It's no good, but she is fouled by Jocelyn Treese. And so Harley Chisholm will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Weatherford leads still 21-11. First free throw for Chisholm, no good. You know, Dakota, I guess some good news for the Boomers in this first half is Weatherford is not making their free throws. This could be 15, maybe 16.
That is very nice.
Second free throw coming for Chisholm. That one is good, so she'll split the pair. Her 6th point of the night. Weatherford now at 22-11 with a minute 50 to go in the first half. Pfeiffer with it. Across the timeline for the Boomers. Right wing. Feeds it out to Treese on the left wing. She's double teamed, though. In some trouble. Now she needs some help. Finally finds Pfeiffer behind her. Pfeiffer going to attack to the left elbow for the jumper. That one a bit strong, no good. Underneath, though, Riley Moore with the board. She is fouled coming down with that. So it's not going to be a shooting foul, but Riley Moore, a tough rebound, will draw the foul. And Ebb going to pick up her second. It's the 5th on Weatherford. Boomers have 7, so Weatherford is in the bonus. Inbounds pass here for Moore. That's stolen away, tipped away by Givens. It was intended for Pfeiffer, and Weatherford comes up with it. Jordan Hoffman now, top of the key for the Eagles. She'll settle it down. And at 20 to go in this first half. Givens on the right wing. She'll dribble it back to the top of the key. Now left wing, goes left corner to Chisholm. Run a low weave, action now cut by Epp. Into the paint, puts up the layup. That runs out, no good. Rebound comes down to Lily Luckett. Now up to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer takes a bump. A strong one there by Dasha Givens. And that is going to be a foul on Givens, her first, 6 on the Eagles. So Dasha Givens.
We really haven't seen any other offensive players except for Michelle Abar here for Woodward.
Jocelyn Treese has or Riley Moore, excuse me, has the other 3. So inside the paint here for the Boomers out Moore, and that gets bought in the way. Pfeiffer trying to come up with it, but it's Kenny Stewart who plucks it. She's the other way in transition, and the bucket good. Wide open layup for Kenny Stewart out of the miss. That's her 4th point of the night. Weatherford now leads 24-11, under a minute to go in this first half. Boomers the other way, Moore with it, top of the key. Goes over to Pfeiffer. High left wing, she'll try to attack. Feeds it behind her to Treese. Treese to Luckett. Now right wing to Douglas Fisher. Fisher, top of the key to Pfeiffer. Has a dribble to work with. Now she'll use it. Again, attacking on Hoffman this time. Moore behind her. Moore going to drive into the paint, put up a right-handed hook. That's no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds off the fingers, I believe, of Riley Douglas Fisher. That'll be back to the Eagles. So a 13-point lead for Weatherford, 24-11 with 19 seconds to go in this first half. They will have one more possession most likely, as Jordan Hoffman going to let this one roll off the inbound. Almost to near the timeline. No Boomer going to pick her up yet. Now they do as she picks it up. Givens has it top of the key. They'll swing it over to Chisholm. She'll dribble back to the top of the key. Left wing to Hoffman. Now baseline to Stewart. Stewart with the blow-by move, and she's going to get the layup off the glass from the left side. And Kenny Stewart starting to settle in. She's got 6. That's a 15-point lead for Weatherford. 2 seconds. Luckett, you got to shoot it. She's not going to get the shot off from the right corner, and that's how we will end the first half. The Boomers trail 26-11 after a half. We'll go ahead and step aside for break and come back with the Dairy Queen halftime show. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92. And welcome back here to Boomer Basketball on Z92. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you as we are at the Dairy Queen halftime show now in this girls game. Weatherford on top of the Boomers 26-11 here at the break. Let's take a look at this first half scoring real quick. Starting with the Eagles. 8 points for Jordan Hoffman, 6 for Kenny Stewart, 6 for Harley Chisholm, 5 for Marley Teasley, and 1 for Braylee Epp. Had not seen Addie Hoffman in the game. I thought she was in the starting line, but I was wrong. It was actually, I pulled the old Sparkin 6 starters for no reason. So I'm not quite sure if she's injured, but we had not seen her. And then for the Boomers, it has been 2 scores. Leslie Pfeiffer with 8 points and Riley Moore with 3. And Dakota Woodward had pulled it to a 14-11 game in that first quarter after trailing 9-1. Well, Weatherford responded with a 12-0 run, including shutting out the Boomers in the second quarter. They only scored in the first quarter and could not find the basket in the second. And it just seems like a lot of essentially great pressure from Weatherford causing it.
I mean, these girls seem to tower over our girls in basketball. Kennedy, wow, she had an amazing first half. Kind of controlled Thessaly Pfeiffer there just a little bit, as long as Riley Moore and Jocelyn Therese. It was just, these Weatherford girls are so tall, it just seems like we can't get around them. They pick just about every possession. It seems like we have, kind of like Avery and Thessaly like to do, just pick every possession that the other team has. But unfortunately, just couldn't get anything offensively going. You know, Thessaly seemed like she was just about to have her moment where she started to kick off, and she was making baskets, and then just within a couple minutes, they'd shut her down and didn't let her have anything.
Yeah, well, you got to credit Coach Givens for that. Grant Givens of the Eagles. When Thessaly started to roll, essentially they packed the paint and dared the Boomers to find something on the outside. Thessaly did have a 3 in that first quarter, and we saw Riley Moore get a 3 as well, but it's not quite enough yet, as they're also forcing those turnovers whenever the Boomers are essentially trying to get inside the three-point line. Anytime they're there, it's a double team, and sometimes even outside of the three-point line. But you mentioned Kenny Stewart, Dakota. We talked about that matchup in the pregame between her and Thessaly Pfeiffer, especially knowing that Avery Edwards would not be in the lineup tonight for the Boomers. And unfortunately, I think that's really where you're seeing it the most, because now Thesley has to be the primary ball handler, and Kenny Stewart is allowed to kind of sit there in the paint and wait for Thesley to drive rather than Thesley get to move off ball.
Yeah, and that's just one thing I don't like. You know, seems like with Avery Edwards in the lineup, it just seems like better for the Boomers.
Yeah.
But you know, also Woodward hasn't really subbed anyone into the game except for about one person.
Well, and you mentioned Michelle Barra, the only one really coming off the bench for the Boomers. And understandably, Coach Moore trying to kind of keep it tight, because we mentioned in the pregame, your bench does not have the most experience, and so throwing them into the fire in a game like this might not be the best option.
You know, and I really thought, you know, we would see maybe Kiwi Cope, you know, come out, but other than Michelle, you know, we really haven't seen anyone else for the Boomers, and maybe that's going to be the game plan, is throw someone else in the mix and see if offensively it can come together. But, I mean, we're going to have to make some changes coming out in the second half, because we can't just keep letting them drive to the basket and pick up and pick off every single pass.
Got to try to stop those transition points for sure. We'll talk a little bit about more of that here later in the show. Let's step aside for a break here in the Dairy Queen Halftime Show. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you. We're at the Dairy Queen Halftime Show. Your Boomers trail 26-11 right now to the Weatherford Lady Eagles. We just recapped the first half, kind of talked about the challenges that the Boomers had faced. Dakota, let's talk about some of those adjustments we were about to get to there. You had mentioned got to cut down those transition points, and as you alluded to as well, that means you got to cut down on the turnovers within that sense. Really, I think the only other main complaint other than that, in my eyes, would probably be Weatherford's been able to get inside pretty well when they've slowed down and gone into their half-court sets. We've seen Jordan Hoffman and Kenny Stewart get some good looks from it.
You know, I think one thing that Woodward is going to have to do, and it's like you said for Weatherford, is slow down the ball. They're going to have to, I think in my opinion, they're going to have to slow down. I feel like they're rushing just a little too much on the court.
Yeah.
When they go off, you know, maybe from a rebound, you know, when Douglas Fisher takes a rebound, it seems like as soon as she passes it out, the ball is getting stolen because we're pushing it too much, or when a pass comes out of the hands of from the top of the key, you know, it just seems like we're pushing the ball too much. Maybe slow it down just a little bit, and maybe we can regroup there, and maybe slowing it down can just maybe have some more opportunities to get some better passes off and some better shots off.
Well, with that, we are already back to action here in the second half. Weatherford will start with it now, going right to left across your dial, or across your screen, wherever you're watching. Givens will have it on the right wing. They'll go to the right corner to Kitty Stewart. She'll swing back out to Givens. Goes high left wing to Epp now. Epp with the dribble. Goes to the top of the key, picked up by Riley Moore. Excuse me, that was Lily Luckett. Now to the right corner, they'll go to Teasley. Starting five back out there from Bowl Squats. Start the second half. Jordan Hoffman has it. She bounces it to Givens, just above the free throw line. Now cutting inside Stewart. They'll feed it to her. She's up and under for the shot, and good. And had about three boomers around her, but Kenny Stewart still able to find a way to get that basket in.
You know, and she was in your spotlight, Tyler, and I think that she's probably one of the key sources to the game right now.
She's definitely affecting the game on both ends of the floor. 8 points has been there defensively for the Eagles. Desley Pfeiffer has it the other way for the Boomers. Top of key gets cut off by Jordan Hoffman about the W. Feeds over to Jocelyn Treese. Dribbles down to the baseline now. Goes back outside trying to get to Douglas Fisher. That's stolen away by Givens. On the ground, Douglas Fisher comes back up with it though. Luggett has it left wing. Feeds to a cutting Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer for a layup. That's no good. Treese though on the second chance. And that is good. Jocelyn Treese, her first points of the night. And the Boomers come out with the basket after getting shut out in the second quarter.
Good to see her on the board, Tyler.
Yeah, need a few more Boomers to step up in that respect. The other way for Weatherford. Stewart has it right corner. Goes top of key to Hoffman. She'll pump. She'll drive into the paint. A tough layup. That's no good. Good defense on the interior by the Boomers. Now Hoffman from out of bounds forces a jump ball. I thought she almost got a foul there, but they say jump ball, so the possession arrow will be with Woodward, though, so that will keep the possession, thankfully.
I think Coach Moore was looking for a little bit of a push there.
Yeah, because Hoffman came in pretty strong.
She did. She came in fast, too.
The other way for the Boomers, though. Right wing, Lily Luckett has it. Now top of the key to Briley Douglas Fisher. She picked up by Givens. Has a dribble to work with. Tries to go with the pass, but it's tipped. And that's stolen away easily the other way by Hoffman. And the bucket is good. Jordan Hoffman on the layup. And it's 30-13. Weatherford extends their lead to 17 now. 5:55 to go here in the third quarter. Desley Pfeiffer will bring it across the timeline for the Boomers. Picked up by Hoffman as soon as she comes across. Now trying to dribble down to the right wing, right block. Puts up a shot there. That one's a bit short. Pulled up on it and came up a bit short. Good defense by Jordan Hoffman. And now she'll take it the other way for the Eagles. Bounce pass down to Stewart and Givens. Givens got back out to the right corner. Top of the key, she'll swing it to Epps. Now bounce inside to Hoffman, who worked in for some good position. And another bucket for Jordan Hoffman. She's up to 12. 32-13. Boomers trail with 5:20 to go here in the third quarter. And now we got a foul.
Lily Luckett there trying to get a pass to her, and over the top came number 2 for Weatherford.
Really up.
Just tackled her in a little bit of a way and fell to the ground there.
So third foul on that. First for either team here in the second half. Jocelyn Treese will get it on the inbound. She's got top key, closely guarded though by Givens near the W here in Weatherford. Now left wing to Luckett. Luckett with the dribble. She's picked up by Epp. Now has to pick it up. Now she's double teamed. Ball comes out on the ground. 2 Eagles and a Boomer. A jump ball, and the possession arrow going to go with Weatherford. It'll be a turnover for the Boomers. And he's just not quite going that way. We talked about the Boomers needing to slow it down, but now Weatherford, as soon as the Boomers do slow it down, it's double teams all day to go.
And it's just getting in a bind for Woodward, it seems like.
Eagles the other way. Pass picked off here by Desley Pfeiffer, and she's fouled before she could corral it, and what would have been an easy 2 the other way. Givens the one that bumps into her.
Yeah, she kind of bumped into her a little hard.
Well, it was a smart foul. She made sure, hey, I'm giving this foul because she didn't want Desley to get the transition basket the other way. Second on Givens. Be the second on Weatherford in the half. Inbound will go to Pfeiffer. She'll drive. She'll kick it out to Luckett on the right wing. She's stopped, though. Has to feed it back out to Pfeiffer behind her. Pfeiffer with it will bounce it to Moore on the extended right elbow. Now Moore going to drive, put up a shot, paint a good look, and Riley Moore with the basket.
That was a beautiful shot there by Riley Moore.
Yeah, great job to just find some space. And she got to go 32-15. Boomers still trail by 17.
Good confidence, too.
Left wing, the Eagles the other way. Givens will have it top of the key now. She'll play a little catch with Epp. They'll swing it around to Hoffman. Hoffman dribbles it back up to the top key. Check by Lily Luckett. Epp will get it, swing it over to Givens in the right corner. Boomers going with that zone look. trying to keep Weatherford from inside. Hoffman going to turn and drive from the top of the key. She's going to draw another foul as she got down into the paint, got tripped up. That is the 4th foul, I believe, that she has drawn when driving. Been highly effective at that. And it's going to be Michelle Ibarra with the foul, her 2nd. Boomers' 1st of the 2nd half. Jordan Hoffman back to the line. Good news is for the Boomers, as I mentioned, the 1st half, Weatherford hasn't been quite perfect from the line. And it's helped at least keep them from being down, 20-25. First free throw there, though, is good from Hoffman. She's up to 13 points now in the ballgame. Second free throw for Hoffman, that is good. And so 34-15, 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Weatherford with the lead. Now they stole it away from Jocelyn Trees, who got it across timeline, triple teamed her. To Givens at the right wing. She's going to pump. She's going to drive. Thought about pulling up, but feeds inside to Kenny Stewart. She's double teamed. Stewart has to kick it back out and got 3 in the key, I think, maybe. Yep, 3 in the lane on Kenny Stewart, which makes sense. Boomers did a good job to cut her off and kind of stuck her in there.
So here's what Weatherford does. They have a girl on one side of the court, the other side of the court, and then one kind of around the 3-point line. So as soon as Jocelyn Treese comes up here, they triple team her.
So kind of that half-court press look, essentially.
Just about every time.
And now Treese does have it. Will hand off to Pfeiffer, left wing. Pfeiffer behind the back dribble. Pulls up, though, has picked up her dribble, needs help, feeds it over to Luckett. But that's tipped away and stolen by Braley Epp. The other way in transition, Epp wide open. She gets the layup to go and in.
Got to give credit to Epp, really quick on her feet there.
Yeah, read that pass all the way. And another timeout as Weatherford takes a 36-15 lead with 3:24 to go here in the 3rd. It's just a 30, so we'll keep it right here, as it was not quite a full timeout. Dakota, like you mentioned, quick on the feet. That's been kind of what Weatherford's been able to do tonight. They've been all over the place, whether it be Epp, whether it be Hoffman, Stewart. I mean, Teasley, anybody's really been able to step in there and get steals. They're just kind of seemingly a step ahead of the Boomers tonight.
And, we're usually the ones to talk about Woodward, having the upper hand in the steals, having the quick feet, having the good shots, having the good game. But just you take a look at this Weatherford Eagle offense and defense, and they are kind of stacked in a way. And if this team right here isn't in the state tournament this year, I'm going to be very surprised.
They're definitely a contender, and it's a good deal for the Boomers, I think, to catch them early as a measuring stick to
plan
absolutely
and to go further in the season and kind of see what Weatherford is really made of, and helps you identify who the Boomers are as well.
Yeah, no doubt, and it allows you to kind of see where you need to improve at, albeit without your starting point guard tonight, Avery Edwards. After the timeout, Leslie Pfeiffer driving hard the other way, feeds over to Michelle Ibarra, and she comes up with the little jumper from the right block, and that's good. Michelle Ibarra with a bucket. She's got 2. So 36-17. Boomers doubled up, but trying to claw their way back in. 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. In the corner, Braley Epp with it for the Eagles. Now goes top of the key up there to Shiloh Navari, who's in some ball game. Now Chisholm will have it. Right wing will be Epp again. They'll swing around to Givens. Left wing, she'll tee up a 3 from there, and that's good. Nothing from net. Deja Givens on the board. She's been active tonight, but hadn't quite got a bucket. That is her first. She's got 3.
Thessaly Pfeiffer there trying to get Lily Luckett on the wing there, but unfortunately just goes off the tip of her fingers and with an awkward throw, it rolls out of bounds.
And it seems out of the timeout, the instruction has been for Thesley, as soon as she gets that ball, to push it and try to blow by the Weatherford press. So interesting adjustment. Weatherford the other way, though, as you mentioned, after the turnover. Right wing's Givens with it. She'll pump, she'll drive, gets down to the block, gets cut off by 3 Boomers. Now kicks it back out to Epp. Right corner, Stewart. She'll pump fake a 3 from there. Gets cut off by Jocelyn Treese. Now feeds it back out to Epp on the high right wing. Epp will swing it over there to Davari. Davari will hand off to Chisholm, high left wing. Davari will get it back. Boomers doing a good job of right now keeping Weatherford out of pay. I say that, a cutting Epp. Nice bounce pass into Kenny Stewart. And a shot good from the right block. Just when you thought the Boomers were able to kind of keep Weatherford out of the paint, they come up with that cut and the nice feed from Braley Epp to Kenny Stewart. 41-17. Eagles on top now. Minute 40 to go in this 3rd quarter. Barr atop the key for the Boomers. Loses the handle, trips, but it's going to go right to Lily Luckett for the 3, and that's good. Lily Luckett found herself open and drained one from the right corner, or from the right wing, excuse me. Her first points. Boomers, though, still trailing 41-20. Chisholm, left wing, now left corner to Epp, cross court to Givens, right wing. Pump fake, she'll step in, she'll take a long 2. That one no good, offline to the left. Rebound comes down to Jocelyn Treese, and she'll get fouled. Looks like maybe
Kennedy Stewart, I think, is going to get her on a push.
It is on Miss Stewart. So that will be her second. And it'll be the third team foul of the half for Weatherford. And Marley Teasley back into the ball game, as well as Jordan Hoffman for Weatherford. Boomers still have Treese, Pfeiffer, Luckett, Moore, and Michelle Barra out there as the 5. Pfeiffer with her across the timeline after the Boomers. She'll turn drive, found a bit of space, but a good poke there by the Eagles. Navarre, and it's going the other way. On the drive, it's Teasley, and gets it to stick. Marley Teasley with a tough drive in transition. She's got 7. And Weatherford extends their lead 43-20 with under a minute to go in the third quarter. Pfeiffer, top of the key for the Boomers. Feeds it down to Moore. She's instantly double teamed. Now is that going to be a jump ball? It is. Possession arrow should keep it with the Boomers. And it will. So 41.8 seconds. Boomers trail 43-20 in this third quarter. Trying to find some, but every time they've got bucket, Weatherford's had an answer. Now on the inbound, Thesley Pfeiffer along two from the elbow extended on the right side. That is good. Boy, if Thesley could get that jump shot rolling, Dakota, it is going to be a long season for opponents.
It is, because that jump shot is pretty deadly.
Which she's confident with. That's something she's been working on. Is that confidence
and when you're
range.
Confident, it goes a long way.
It does. It does. Well, if the other way, got poked out of bounds, but they'll keep it. Teasley will inbound it from the below the left block. Now they get it out to the left corner to Given. She'll fire a 3 from there. That one's strong. Rims around and rebounded by Pfeiffer. 18 seconds to go. Boomers trail 43-22. Pfeiffer in transition the other way. Nice feed over to Barra, and that's good from the left block. Nice pass at the last moment from Thesley Pfeiffer. Michelle Ibarra with 4 points now. 43-24 the other way. Weatherford on the drive. Hoffman gets stopped. Swatted out of bounds. Good job by Barra to stick in there, take a little bit of contact. And Riley Moore swung over to help out, force it out of bounds. Weatherford gets another inbound, though, with 3.1 seconds on the clock. Teasley bounces it over to Chisholm. Now high left wing. Hoffman for 3 at the buzzer, and that's no good. And that's how we end the third quarter. Weatherford still leading 43-24 over the Boomers. We'll take a break and come back for the fourth. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92. And welcome back to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you as we are about set to begin the fourth quarter here in Weatherford. The Lady Eagles lead the Boomers 43-24 in this one. Score update. Lead scorer in the game right now, Jordan Hoffman, came alive a bit in that third quarter with 6 points. Good news is, Dakota, the Boomers got a 13-point quarter, their highest of the night. The bad news is that Weatherford scored them 17-13 in that quarter.
Yikes.
It's 43-24. Weatherford will start with possession.
Glad to see that Woodward did come out of a slump there from the second quarter into the third.
Yeah, they got shut out in the second. They did respond, you're correct, with some good points. It's just Weatherford right now in control, trying to kind of keep them at arm's length. They'll swing it around. Teasley going to take a 3 from the right wing. That's no good. Rebound by Michelle Ibarra. Strong one. She'll feed over to Thesley Pfeiffer now in transition across the timeline. Top of the key. Has to back it out. Still with the dribble. Picked up by Teasley. Goes over to Riley Moore beside her. Moore gets a screen from Treese on the left wing. Now Moore trying to drive inside. She'll kick out to Luckett. Right baseline. That'll be to Ibarra. Quick shot. That's no good. A bit strong. Rebound. Tipped around. It comes down to Marley Teasley. That's Chisholm. Chisholm feeds up to Teasley, who's streaking in transition. She blew the layup. Rebound underneath by Treese. Boom. But they still feed it to Treese. Treese almost finds herself open, but loses the handle. Ebb comes up with it. Braley Ebb now taking it the other way for the Eagles. Feeds down to Teasley for the layup, and that one good. Teasley wasn't going to miss 2 in a row. And she's on the board with the layup with 9 points now for Marley Teasley. And Weatherford extends their lead to 21, 45-24. Boomers the other way. Pfeiffer will feed to Riley Moore for a left baseline jumper. Quick one. That one's a bit offline to the left, no good. Weatherford comes up with the rebound, but they throw it away in transition. Teasley and Epp collide and go into the student section, who has, for some reason, an ESPN table set up. Not quite sure if they're, I mean, they got Santa hats. I think they're trying to mock call the game here, if you will.
I like to listen to how that ESPN broadcast is going.
You're right. Boomers will get it back, though, after the turnover. 6-30. Luckett now to Barra on the right baseline near the three-point line. She'll go to Douglas Fisher. Swings around to Moore on the left wing, picked up by Teasley. Moore still with the dribble, still guarded by Teasley, but gets around her, tries to pass out, loses the handle. She's trying to get to Luckett. Epp comes up with it. Now in transition, Weatherford with numbers. And the bucket there, Shyla Navari comes up with her first points of the night as they fed it to her wide open for the layup, and Weatherford extends their lead 47-24. Pfeiffer the other way for the Boomers, across the timeline, gets a screen from Douglas Fisher, and now will take the right mid-range jumper, and that's no good, just a touch long. And the rebound corralled by Weatherford. As Navarro will take it the other way, now right corner to Stewart. She'll set up for a quick three. That one's short, kind of looked uncomfortable with it, didn't quite get in rhythm. Douglas Fisher with the rebound, she floats it up in transition. Left wing now with it will be Harley Chisholm. She's picked up by Lily Luckett. Teasley now in the far left corner to Navarra, and she'll go up top to Chisholm, right wing to Epp. As Weatherford essentially going to try to work it around, take their time. Stewart now has it off the screen on the right wing, about just a few feet below the elbow. That shot's no good. Rebound taken by the Boomers. Pfeiffer's got a 2-on-1 with her and Ibarra. Now feed down to Ibarra, layup good. Good play there from the Boomers.
Yeah, they read that very well. You know, she was trying to take a charge there and just kind of whipped it around.
And a good job by Barr to realize, hey, it's a 2-on-1. I need to fan out a little bit here for Thesley to get to me, and Thesley answered in kind with the assist. 47-26, Boomers trail. Weatherford with it. Left corner, Navarra has it. She has to pick up her dribble, though, and goes up top to Epp, excuse me. Epp picked up by Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer sticking with her. Epp still with the dribble. Now spins it back. Goes to Navarro on the left wing. Epp will still screen, but Thesley Pfeiffer going to come up with the steal one-on-one. Pfeiffer the other way. Can't quite get the handle, though. And let's see where they call this. They're going to say it's going to stay with the Boomers.
Yeah, I think
it's knocked out of bounds by Navarro.
I think her knee hit it out of bounds.
That makes sense. It was kind of an awkward touch.
It was.
As Pfeiffer was still trying to control it. Navarro kind of ran in there and almost shoved her. Treese will inbound it below the right block for the Boomers. Gets into Douglas Fisher from there. Douglas Fisher with the power dribble. Tries to get the layup. It's off the glass. No good. Good move, but just couldn't quite get to go down. In transition, Weatherford. A nice extra pass from Hoffman to Teasley. And Marley Teasley with another bucket there in transition. She's now got 11. Weatherford leads 49-26. The other way, Pfeiffer in the paint. She gets knocked down trying to go up for a shot. That foul going to be on Brinley Glassy. We've seen a little bit of time, but not much. To the line will be Thesley Pfeiffer. As the Boomers trail 49-26, 4:04 to go in the ball game. First free throw from Miss Pfeiffer is good. She had 17 in the opener on Friday. She's got 11 here tonight. It's been the brunt of the Boomer offense, 11 of the 27. They just, as we're talking about, just have not been able to find a rhythm. Pfeiffer setting up for the second free throw. That one is good. She's got 12. 49-28, 4 minutes to go in this one. Weatherford on top over the Boomers. Hoffman has it top of the key for the Eagles. She is picked up by Pfeiffer. Now to the right wing to Givens. Givens going to get cut off there and goes left wing to Harley Chisholm. She dribbles down into the left corner, double team, goes cross court, dangerous pass Givens, but she comes up with it, feeds down inside, and that shot no good there from Brinley Glassy, but a good feed from Givens, and Glassy will draw the foul and go to the free throw line.
I think Michelle Ibarra, I think she got her hand up in the arm that kind of made her hit towards the rim. So give credit to her.
And that'll be Ibarra's third foul. First free throw for Glassy. That is no good, but strong. The junior is Glassy. One of those that will look to contribute off the bench for Coach Givens. Second free throw, that one is good. So she'll split the pair. And Brinley Glassy with her first point of the night. 50-28, Eagles on top now. 3:35 to go in this fourth quarter. Douglas Fisher has the top of the key for the Boomers. Gets a bit of a screen from Thesley Pfeiffer. Dribbles it over to Lily Luckett. She'll get the handle. Goes left wing now to Treese. Treese with a little weave action. Feeds it back to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer has the dribble to work with. Now she tries to feed inside the bar. Good move by Barr to get down into the paint, but she gets trapped up there by Teasley, who strips it away and steals it. Hoffman comes up with it. Now in transition, Givens the other way. Douglas Fisher gets back, and good defense underneath, but Glassley going to come up with the shot and the bucket. As it was a 2-on-1 right there, and Brindley Glassley able to get the bucket, her third point of the night. 52-28, the Boomers the other way. Ibarra down on the baseline, left wide, can't get the shot to go, it's a bit strong. Rebound fought for, goes off Douglas Fisher, 10 Eagle. Now Hoffman in transition, Teasley the other way, she gets it and the bucket. It's a foul on Thesley Pfeiffer, so it'll be an and one for Weatherford. And Marley Teasley to the line for a traditional three-point play.
You got to give credit to Thesley Pfeiffer. I mean,
she's battling, man. She's trying to do everything she can for sure. And the rest of the team is as well. It's just tonight Weatherford has really jumped out on top of
And for those of you who don't know, Thesley Pfeiffer has yet to come out of this ball game.
Yeah, I mean, it has been just about every starter
I think
has almost played every minute. They've had one substitution, as you mentioned, one player that's rotating in, and Michelle Barr.
Yeah, her and Jocelyn Therese, I think, are switching in and out.
The and one free throw by Teasley is good, so she's now got 14 points. Weatherford up 55-28 with 2:35 to go. Pfeiffer the other way for the Boomers. She drives hard to the paint over three. Eagles can't get the shot to go, but the rebound of Barra, she can't get her second chance to go. Gets the rebound again. Now a jump shot from left baseline for Pfeiffer. Good. Good effort from Michelle Ibarra to free up a third chance for the Boomers. And Pfeiffer answers with a bucket. She's got 14. Boomers, though, trail by 25, 50-30 with 2:15 to go. Weatherford the other way. They've got some subs in now and probably just going to try to swing this around and burn up some clock. Three on the left wing as soon as I say it from Weatherford. That was a 12. I do not have a 12 for them. And Reese Roof gets in and gets the basket on the second chance for the Eagles. So try to find out 12, so we'll work on that. And then Roof going to draw the foul the other way. Be her first. Fifth on the Eagles. 5-3 and fouls this half. Douglas Fisher inbound to Treese on the right corner for three. That one's short, no good. A foul or a jump ball on the rebound. Let's see what it was. I think it was just a jump ball as Douglas Fisher and I believe Roof had come down with it essentially at the same time. Possession arrow is going to be with the Eagles. Nope, they did get on Douglas Fisher. Wow. Thought that was more of a jump ball. Third foul on her. Fourth in the half for the Boomers. Weatherford with the lead, 57-30 the other way. Kate Daniel with it. Now they'll work it around. Double teamed here is Juliana Cooper. Top key, they work it back to Daniel. Two's in for Weatherford. Into the corner, three on the way. That one's no good. Taken there from Taylor Payne. Rebound fought for, girls on the ground. Pfeiffer winds up on her back with it. And a jump ball. Possession arrow, I believe, should be with the Boomers. And it will be, so the Boomers will have it going the other way, trailing 57-30 with a minute 20 left to go. Unfortunately, not going to come up with the win tonight. Going to fall to 1-1, but as we talked about, a good opportunity essentially to kind of measure yourself against what's going to be most likely a top 5, maybe a top 3 team here in 4A and Weatherford. Thesley Pfeiffer will finally come out of the ball game and into the game for the first time. It will be Chloe Clements, the freshman. Now it's stolen away from her on a pass. Goes the other way is Reese Roof for the Eagles. Can't get the first shot to go. And couldn't quite hear the name for number 12 there. She's not on the roster for the Eagles. That's who has got the basket. Weatherford extends their lead 59-30. Avery Long, is that what we heard right there?
I think so.
So Avery Long, not listed on the roster. Probably, it's one of those situations now where Coach Givens is trying to shortchange this information, but he probably didn't think you're going to be up near 30, and so he's throwing somebody in there that'd usually be a JV and trying to get some minutes. Boomers the other way now. Lexi Mendel with it on the left corner, and that gets tipped out of bounds as she was trying to pass it inside. Boomers keep possession, 59-30, 46 seconds to go in this one. Boys getting ready. They're lining up in the halls. Inbounds, we go to Ibarra. Top the key to Mendel. Now right wing to Clements. Right corner to Treese. Treese feeds inside to Ibarra with a nice move. Up for the layup, and that's rattling around and in. Michelle Ibarra, she has provided a solid spark for the Boomers off the bench. Unfortunately, not going to be quite enough tonight, but she's got 8. Under 30 seconds to go. Weatherford the other way. Now some chaos as the ball's on the ground. Picked up by Daniel for the Eagles. They'll swing it around. Reese Roof with it now on the right wing. To Daniel on the left wing. Weatherford looks like they're trying to see if they could dribble this one out. Boomer's still pressuring a bit on them. Into the right corner now is Taylor Payne. Pass almost stolen, but she's going to get it back. Feeds it over to Juliana Cooper. Cross court left corner for a three. Roof. That one's no good. Rebound underneath by Barr. 2 seconds, one. She throws up the court, and that's going to end the ball game. The Boomers on the girls' side fall 59-32 to the Weatherford Eagles here tonight. An unfortunate loss, but again, a very, very salty Weatherford Eagles squad. 59-32 the final there. We'll take a break, come back, wrap this girls' game up, then get you set for the boys. It is Boomer Basketball on Z93. And welcome back to Boomer Basketball on Z92. Dakota Wagner and Tyler Riggs with you as the girls fall here tonight, 59-32 to the Weatherford Eagles. Weatherford remains unbeaten at 2-0 on the season. Boomers fall to 1-1. Looking at the final stats here, starting with the Boomers. Leslie Pfeiffer led the way, no surprise, 14 points. She's the only Boomer in double figures. 8 for Michelle Ibarra off the bench, 5 for Riley Moore, and you got 3 from Lily Luckett and 2 from Jocelyn Treese. On the Weatherford side, it was Jordan Hoffman. She had 14 points, and then Marley Teasley made a late run with 7 fourth quarter points. She finishes with 14 as well. 10 points for Kennedy Stewart. Then you had 6 from Harley Chisholm, 3 apiece for Deja Givens, Braylee Epp, and then 2 apiece, and Brinley Blassie as well. And then 2 apiece for Reese Roof and Avery Long. And Dakota, the good news is for the Boomers, after you got shut out in the second quarter, you at least responded with 21 second half points. The bad news of that is Weatherford at that point kind of had you at arm's length, and they were able to add to their lead. They put up 33 in the second half, put up 26 in the first. That's how they got that 59. And really that second quarter was where Weatherford just seemed like they clamped down on the Boomers and didn't look back.
You know, and I thought the first quarter, or the first half for Weatherford was well against the Boomers, and in the second half they don't let up, Tyler. Yeah. They just keep going. They push the gas pedal just a little bit more, and they really show why they're going to be one of the top teams probably to beat this year. And that's probably why they have an ESPN table over there, Tyler, because, man, some of the performances they had tonight were incredible.
Yeah, we talked at length about Kenny Stewart, the difference she made tonight. The post for Weatherford kind of making things tough for Leslie Pfeiffer, albeit you know, the asterisk here is going to be the fact that the Boomers did not have their other senior in Avery Edwards. I know that doesn't make up all the points, but it definitely affected the flow of the game. To be fair to Weatherford, they also did not have Addie Hoffman, who would be another key piece for them tonight. It seemed like, but Jordan Hoffman and Kenny Stewart really played a big role for Weatherford. And then they got those other contributions from girls like Marley Teasley as well. So that's a wrap-up of the scoring there for the girls' game. Weatherford again came out on top of your Boomers 59-32. And with that, we'll go ahead and step aside for another break and come back and look at the boys' matchup, as it'll be the Weatherford Eagles matching up with your Woodward Boomers 10 of the night. It's Boomer basketball on Z92. Back on Z92 with Boomer Basketball. Dakota Widener and Tyler Riggs with you. Also on Boomer TV as well, if you haven't checked it out there. Getting set for the boys game as the boys are up now. And getting into it here, starting with the Boomers coming in at 1-0 on the season. Took that 50-43 win at Clinton Friday night. We mentioned the girls pregame, Cash Shipley was the do-it-all guy there. Led the team with 23 points. Showed high basketball IQ throughout. Had quality assists. Defensive end was picking off passes, coming up with huge blocks, getting timely rebounds. And then, Dakota, the big news, I think, even more about Cash, because we kind of knew, hey, Cash is good for 15 to 20 a night at least, maybe in a sleep, right? But fellow sophomore Carter Reed really stepped up his play versus Forrest. He started put up 13 points for the Boomers in that win.
That's impressive.
It definitely was. It was a kind of a gritty, tough performance by the Boomers. Clinton played them tough, even though Clinton was replacing a lot of talent. Guys like Caden Powell, the Crumley twins, you know, Aiden Crumley stepped up, the younger brother, and had 19 against the Boomers in that one and kind of kept Clinton in it, kept the Boomers honest. For Weatherford, they entered tonight at 1-0, had a 65-42 win over Elk City on Friday. Tate Sage, and this is four guys you're going to hear a lot of tonight. Tate Sage, as well as his twin Ethan Sage, and then Nate Rahim, can't say that. I'm trying to say that correct with the slang on there. Rahirman. And then C.J. Nixon. Those four sophomores. Tall, talented, long, and lanky. Well, against Elk City, Tate Sage into the game with 19 points, 8 rebounds. Nate Rahirman into the game with 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. C.J. Nixon, he had 16 points and 12 boards. And then you had Ethan Sage with 6 points and 6 rebounds and 4 assists. And then their fifth starter, if you will, that's going to be the one that will kind of be the more question mark, Jackson Smith. He had 5 points, 4 boards in that.
Those four guys, man, I tell you what, they're national champions, Tyler.
Well, and I was going to mention that they played with Cass Shipley this summer in AAU ball. They won a national championship. Those 4 sophomores plus Cass Shipley was the power behind that team.
So that's basically your 5th man for Weatherford. If he was over here, that would have been Cass
we can't let him have Cash.
No, we gotta. That'd be like an NBA team, versus a high school team almost.
Weatherford last season, this was a 23-7 squad, despite being very young. Like the girls, they made a run to the state tournament, ultimately losing in the quarterfinals to Victory Christian. And we mentioned their key players. The rest of the team, really kind of the one to mention outside of those 4, and I'll repeat it again, that'd be Jackson Smith, essentially the 5th starter. He's expected to be part of that team and step up a little bit, getting an increased workload as now entering as a sophomore as well. So, excuse me, a freshman. So they don't have a senior on the roster. This Weatherford team, and that's scary. Their oldest guys are juniors, Nate Reherman and Jackson Myers. So that's it. Everybody else is sophomore or younger, and they've got plenty of size. And we'll go to the starting line. So I'm going to turn over to PA because this is loud enough for y'all to hear it real quick.
We'll be introducing the visiting team. They are the Woodward Boomers, head coached by Darius Woodward. The starting lineup tonight, number 2, senior Carter Reed. Number 4, senior Caden Reed. Number 12, senior Kyle Martin. Number 15, senior Hunter Mosley. And number 21, sophomore Cash Shipley. It's time for you to get on your feet and make some noise because here are your Weatherford Eagles head coach, Terry Poole. The starting lineup tonight, number 11, 6'1" freshman, Jackson Smith. Number 15, 6'6" junior, Nate Reherman. Number 23, 6'6" sophomore, Ethan Sage. Number 24, 6'6" sophomore, Tate Sage. And number 35, 6'6" sophomore, CJ Nixon.
And so you got your starting lineups there for both teams. You heard the Weatherford side of it. Very long, very lengthy. Jackson Smith, Nate Reherman, Ethan Sage, Tate Sage, and CJ Nixon. For the Boomers, it is Carter Reed, Caden Reed, Kyle Martin, Cash Shipley, and Hunter Mosley. Carter Reed is the sophomore. The roster has him listed as a senior, so that is not quite correct, but that's the correction there. 8 minutes on the clock. And these teams ready to get tipped. It's going to be Kyle Martin along with Nate Reherman tipping it off. And the tip is won by the Eagles, and they will control it at the top of the key. Tate Sage with it. Now it bounces down low. CJ Nixon, and he's got the slam. Oh, boy.
It's going to be a show, I think, that the Weatherford Eagles are going to try to put on tonight, Tyler.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to deal with that. CJ Nixon getting open for the first basket on the slam. Carter Reed with it on the right wing. Tries to feed into Cash Shipley. That's tipped and stolen. Weatherford going the other way. It's Jackson Smith. He floats up a tough layup over Caden Reed, and that's good. And Weatherford comes out running up 4-0 within the first minute. 7:20 to go in this first quarter. Top of the key. Caden Reed with it. He loses the handle right in front of Tate Sage. He'll go the other way, right wing. Feeds inside. Cash Shipley will pick off the pass. Oh, now he's got numbers 3-on-2. Shipley going to take them both on. Tries to go up for the shot. And we're going to have a foul, or is it just going to be out of bounds? It looks like it might just be out of bounds. As back on the defense, that was the twins, Ethan Sage and Tate Sage.
Yep, I think he just got out of bounds.
So the Boomers will keep the possession. Cash Shipley will inbound it below the left block. Inbounded to Carter Reed on the left corner. He'll feed it back to Shipley in that left corner as he dribbled out to the wing now. Feed inside to Mosley on Nixon. Mosley turnaround jumper in front of Nixon. That one just a bit off. Got a clean look. Couldn't bury it. Nixon with the board. He'll feed up to Tate Sage. Sage feeds it back to Ethan. And Ethan pass gets tipped. Shipley comes up with it. Up to Carter Reed. Reed with the layup. Blows it, but Cash Shipley with the follow, and the basket is good. So sophomore Carter Reed heard some feet coming with C.J. Nixon. Couldn't get the layup to go, but Cash Shipley gets the Boomers on the board, 4-2, 6:35 to go in this first quarter.
That was a beautiful putback, though, by Shipley.
Yeah, way to be there. Now double dribble force. Caden Reed was guarding Jackson Smith, and Smith double dribbled. There'll be a turnover. Back to the Boomers. And this is what you want to do, Dakota, is try to get these sophomores in Weatherford, although very talented, also a bit fresh, young, they could be prone to mistakes.
That would be nice to catch them off guard.
Shipley has on the left wing for the Boomers. Mosley top the key with it now. They go to Caden Reed on the right wing. Over to Shipley near the left corner. Now he'll attack baseline. Rearman on him, and that's going to be tipped out of bounds on the pass by C.J. Nixon. Shipley was trying to go to Hunter Mosley.
Putting a little dent in that ESPN table down there.
Yeah. It'll be an inbound from Kyle Martin in front of that home section. Caden Reed feeds inside to Martin, who cut after the pass. Oh, couldn't get the layup to go. It was a great look at it, just rimmed out. Nixon with the board. Now he pushes in transition. They feed to Jackson Smith. They find C.J. Nixon cutting, but he loses the handle. And now a foul as Kyle Martin comes up with it on the loose ball and took a bump there, it looked like, from, that will be Ethan Sage, his first. First foul for either team. 4-2, Weatherford on top. 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. 2 minutes in here. Inbound from Carter Reed. We'll go to Caden Reed. He's got top of the point. Now to Mosley on the right wing. Checked by C.J. Nixon. Feeds back to Reed. Caden Reed at the top of the key. Reed will bounce it over to Martin, but that's tipped away, almost stolen by Sage, Ethan Sage. But Kyle Martin able to crowd back and feeds over to Caden Reed, and they'll reset. Caden Reed directing traffic. Feeds Mosley on the left wing. Now Kyle Martin tries to cut in, and that pass was bit off by Hunter Mosley, and Weatherford going to come up with it as it looked like Martin was going to pop out, and Mosley thought he was going to continue cutting. It's a turnover for the Boomers. Nixon the other way. He's going to drive into the paint, pass Cash Shipley, and gets it in and good. And that's the other tough part about C.J. Nixon. Not only is he tall, Dakota, he has been in the weight room. That man's filled out for a sophomore.
He's scary looking, that's for sure.
Left wing, Caden Reed with the Boomers trail 6-2 atop the key. Martin double team, has to feed it to Mosley. Mosley going to pop from the free throw line. That jumper's good. Tough one by Hunter Mosley.
Beautiful jumper though, Tyler. Way to go.
He's about money from mid-range. You get him a clean look in that mid-range. He really likes that. 6-4. Weatherford the other way on top. Nixon top the key, trying to drive. This time gets cut off by Shipley and Caden Reed. They'll swing around. Ethan Sage with it. Nixon on the right wing. Again, Shipley matching up with him, athlete on athlete. Shipley going to come up with the block this time as Nixon tried the little jumper there above the block, and Cash Shipley with the block.
Beautiful.
And that's what you want to see, Shipley answering athlete for athlete. Caden Reed, top of the key, feeds to Carter, back to Caden on the wing. Now back to Carter. Carter Reed going to drive, spin move, gets cut off though, has to kick out to Kyle Martin, top of the key. Carter Reed will give Martin the screen, but he'll hand off to Caden Reed, and Boomers reset. 4 minutes already gone in this first quarter. 6-4 Weatherford on top. Boomers with the ball though. Kyle Martin gets it top of the key. Now trying to drive. Gets cut off at the elbow. Back to Carter Reed for a deep three. And that's good. Carter Reed steps into it and splashes.
Wow. Beautiful three-pointer there by Carter Reed.
The sophomore Dakota shooting with confidence in the early season. Boomers on top 7-6.
And that's what we need is confidence, Tyler.
Now, tough defense here by Carter Reed on Tate Sage as he had it at about the Weatherford W, but that's going to be a foul on Carter Reed. Got a little too aggressive there.
Yeah, and one thing that that's going to have to happen is if anyone's going to stop this Weatherford defense, is probably going to be Cash Shipley. You know, he's very familiar with the way that these four guys play.
Yeah, he does
very
have
familiar.
all the familiarity. Good point. Inbound here by Weatherford. 3 in the deep right corner there by Tate Sage. No good, but rebound underneath by Rearman, and that is good on the putback. Nate Rearman with the bucket, and it's 8-7. Weatherford on top now. 3:25 to go in this first quarter. Caden Reed top the key with it, under some pressure. Fires a pass over to Cash Shipley in the right corner. It's offline as it's out of bounds on the line. That's a turnover back to the Eagles. Inbound from Tate Sage to C.J. Nixon, who will walk it up the court. And it goes across the timeline. Weatherford going left to right in this first quarter. Boomers going right to left. Nixon drives, kicks. They'll work it around. Tate Sage has it. He'll feed it back out to Rearman. Right wing to Tate Sage. Now feed back into Rearman on the drive, and that's no good.
Cash Shipley swatted it away.
I was about to say, I think Cash affected that one. Boomers come up with it. Caden Reed the other way. He's got a high left wing. Double team. Has to feed it to Carter Reed. Gets open for a three, but that one offline. Air balls to the right. There's open Nixon now with a full court pass to Jackson Smith. He's got the layup the other way, and that's good. So the outlet pass there by C.J. Nixon leads to Jackson Smith bucket. Weatherford on top 10-7 now, 2:35 to go in the first.
I think they're looking for a three-pointer here, Tyler.
And Carter Reed tried to dish it over to Kyle Martin. That's picked off by C.J. Nixon, saved, and a dunk attempt there by Ethan Sage. I say attempt because he missed it, but C.J. Nixon picks off the pass from Carter Reed. Now he's driving, step through. Oh, Euro step through lane and gets it to go. A pretty move by C.J. Nixon.
We got a timeout here.
And a timeout taken, as that one going to be by Coach Roper. So we'll go ahead and step aside. Weatherford leads 12-7 with 2:17 to go in this first quarter. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92. And welcome back to Boomer Basketball on Z92. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Reeves with you. Also on Boomer TV. Checking it out there. Weatherford on top, 12-7 over the Boomers with 2:17 to go in this first quarter. A flurry of steals led to a Weatherford basket by Jackson Smith before that timeout. Boomers will have the possession, though, as Carter Reed is going to inbound to Caden. Here out of the timeout, C.J. Nixon already with 6 points for the Eagles. For the Boomers, it's been a 3 from Carter Reed, a layup from Cash Shipley, and Hunter Mosley with a mid-range jumper. That's your scoring there. Did want to mention, too, shout out the Boomer coaches. We heard the Rice Roper, Andrew Hickman, and Caden Corneli. And talk a little bit more about Coach Smith and how they're playing for him, of course, at halftime. We didn't get to address in the pregame. On the inbound. That pass is tipped out of bounds by the Eagles. Boomers will advance up to the front court and have to re-inbound it. Carter Reed with it. And now he's double teamed. Will build a trap, gets to Kyle Martin. Martin tries to zip it down to Cash Shipley, but Shipley wasn't ready for it, and it was almost stolen by Tate Sage. Gets knocked out of bounds.
All I'm looking down there, Tyler, on the court, and all I see is a bunch of guys that are about 6'6".
It's a tall group out there.
Man, guys are
Cash
giants.
Shipley going to inbound. Caden Reed in the corner for 3. That's good. Handles on the face. Caden Reed got it, though. That's a big one for the Boomers. 12-10 now. Reed brothers have hit a pair of threes. 1:50 to go in this first quarter. Weatherford the other way. Ethan Sage swings out Tate Sage, right wing 3. That one offline, but strong. Rearman with the rebound. Can't get the second effort. Gets a third chance. And Cash Shipley with the block, but they're going to call a foul.
I think Cash Shipley got a hand on the first one that was rejected, and then the second one he got the foul on.
I think, unfortunately, there for him, it was not so much that he didn't get a clean block. It's more so the follow-through got the hand contact for the foul. His first, Boomer's second team foul. Rearman at the line. First free throw is good. He's junior, staying at 6'6".
Eagles are shooting for 2. Subbing in for the Eagles.
13-10 now. Weatherford on top. 1:42 going this first quarter. Dylan Epp now in the ball game for the Eagles. A stark contrast as he is not 6'6". Second free throw for Rearman is no good. Boomers come up with the rebound. They go the other way. Caden Reed with it across the timeline. Pick up by Epp. Martin on him. They'll swing it around to the left wing to Shipley. Ball moving quick. Martin tries to zip it cross court into the right corner to Caden Reed. And that one out of bounds right in front of the student section there for Weatherford. It'll be a turnover back to the Eagles. Tate Sage going to inbound it. Oh, he stepped over the line trying to inbound it, so the Boomers going to get it right back. That's a break.
It is, and it's a nice one, too, because we'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, they weren't even pressuring him on the inbound. He just kind of got a little too antsy with it.
Silly mistake. But, hey, it's free. We'll take it.
Caden Reed going to inbound for the Boomers. Goes left corner. Kyle Martin, a deep 3 hand to the face. That one rims out. Looked good for a second. It was a bit strong. C.J. Nixon powers for the board. He'll dribble it up the court across the timeline now. Feeds to Dylan Epp at the top of the key. Picked up by Carter Reed. Nixon now on the right wing. Picked up by Shipley. Rearman will swing around left wing to Ethan Sage. Goes top of the key to Tate Sage. Hands off to Epp. Epp going to turn and drive into the paint. The small man gets a layup over the outstretched hand of Cash Shipley. And Dylan Epp off the bench with the bucket. It's a 15-10 under a minute to go now. Weatherford on top. Boomers the other way. Caden Reed with a nice move through the paint.
Wow, that was been a beautiful one.
Can't get it to go. It rims out off the front. Eagles with the rebound. C.J. Nixon now walks across the timeline. 40 seconds to go now in this first quarter. Tate Sage with it, top of the key. Over right corner, Rearman. Epps now has it. Tries to feed it back down to Rearman, but it's tipped away, stolen. Kyle Martin in transition. Tries to go for a layup, and a smart foul by Dylan Epps, because that was going to be an easy layup for Kyle Martin, but instead put it to the free throw line for 2 shots.
First personal foul on Dylan Epps of the Eagles.
And Kyle Martin didn't have the most explosive scoring game last week, Dakota, but as a senior, you can tell leadership was a bit evident in a lot of key situations down the stretch.
No, but when Weatherford put number 4 in, it kind of gave Woodward a little bit more room to pass the ball around. As you could see, Kyle Martin and Cash Shipley were throwing it right over the head, so not 6'6", and that does help down there just a little bit.
He's probably about, I think he's, let's see what they got listed as, is Kyle Martin makes
5'6",
free
maybe?
throws. Yeah, they got Dylan Epps listed at 5'7", and that's probably a bit generous. I'm not trying to pick on the kid by any means, but he's probably more about 5'6". What about that? But it's just a big contrast when you take out all the 6-foot-plusers out there and you put out Dylan. So Martin made both free throws, 15-12. Boomers trail by 3, 25 seconds to go. Weatherford the other way in this first quarter. 3 on the way from Tate Sage, and that's good. He got freed up and hit it from the left wing. So Weatherford extends it back to 6, 18-12. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Boomers with it. Top the key, Carter Reed. Now right wing to Shipley. Still working around. Down to 6 seconds. Got a little bit of time. Got to find some 4 seconds. Reed's trap. Now has to go out to Kyle Martin. Deep left wing 3 down the corner, and that one's a bit short. No good, and that's how we will end the first quarter as Weatherford leads the Boomers 18-12. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92. And welcome back to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you as we get ready to begin the second quarter between the Weatherford Eagles and your Woodward Boomers. Weatherford on top after one, 18-12. C.J. Nixon leading the way with 6 points for the Boomers. A spread out effort. No Boomer with more than a basket, but we've got 5 different scorers. Carter Reed, Caden Reed, Cash Shipley, Kyle Martin, and Hunter Mosley. The starters each have the basket.
Foul here. Tyler right out of the break going to be on number 24.
That'd be Tate Sage picking up his first. Boomers had the possession to start the second quarter. So third team foul for Weatherford. Now inbound, Caden Reed from the deep left corner. Couldn't get that one to go. Had hit one in the first quarter. Hunter Mosley, though, with the long rebound. He'll drive on Jackson Smith. Now double team. Nixon got up in there on him and stripped away and stole it. C.J. Nixon the other way for Weatherford.
Him and Cash Shipley are probably going to be on one another the whole night.
Jackson Smith will cut, kick out. Ethan Sage for 3 from the right wing. That's no good. Long rebound, corralled by Kyle Martin. And yes, I imagine they will be going toe-to-toe.
Yes.
Best athlete on best athlete.
Probably so.
Caden Reed has it top of the key. They've really got Nixon kind of more planted right now in the low post in the zone by Weatherford. Caden Reed picks up his dribble, needs help on the right wing. Now feeds a bounce pass into Cash Shipley, who cut on Rearman, goes up for layup, and good move by Cash Shipley, good patience.
He goes, I know how to get around you, I've done it before.
Yeah, probably seen it a couple times in their practices. Top of the key now, Tate Sage with it. He's gonna make a move, drive into the paint, up and under layup, and gets it to go. A windmill-esque layup there.
Good job of not getting a foul, though, for the Boomers.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was going to be a bit of contact. So 20-14. Weatherford still on top. 6:40 to go in the first half. Boomers the other way. Caden Reed with it. Kyle Martin takes a handoff now. Left wing, they'll go to Cash Shipley. Josh Hagemeyer seeing his first action of the night. Will hand off to Shipley. Shipley going to try to drive into the paint. Stops, gets up on the block. Shot no good, but a foul called on the Eagles. That should send Cash Shipley to the line.
Number 11 there for Weatherford.
That'll be Jackson Smith picking up his first. Fourth team foul for Weatherford. Cash Shipley line. Dakota, this was probably the only complaint of his performance last week as he uncharacteristically was missing free throws.
Yeah, I mean, he just couldn't knock them down. You know, he would make one, miss one, make one, miss one.
First one, though, was good. And it seemed a little less rushed. Last week, it seemed maybe just kind of flinging them up there, rushing a little bit.
Hagemeyer comes out. Carter Reed will come back in, and there's both of them knocked down there for Cash Shipley.
He does make both. He's now up to 6 points. Boomers cut it back to 4, 20-16. Fast the other way, those Eagles. And Jackson Smith, who just picked up the foul on the other end, gets an and one down here for Weatherford. That's on Kyle Martin, I think.
It is.
So he gets the and one with a quick answer off the inbound. Smith now with 6. Now go to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Smith, a couple dribbles, dips, spins, shoots, and that one long, no good. Rebound taken by Caden Reed. The Boomers will push back the other way, trailing by 6, 6:15 to go in the half. Cash Shipley takes a handoff near the Weatherford W. Now gets a screen from Carter Reed. Shipley going to try to feed down to Hagemeyer. Pass a bit strong. It's over Hagemeyer's head, tipped and stolen. C.J. Nixon comes up with it for the Eagles. He pushes. Fires a pass up to Ethan Sage. Drives for layup from the left baseline. That's good. Sage's first points of the night. Weatherford now leads by 8, 24-16. Caden Reed across the timeline, gets bumped from Tate Sage. Now run over to the right wing to Shipley. Top the key to Carter Reed, left wing to Martin. Now to Hunter Mosley. Over to Caden Reed on the left, the right wing. Carter Reed going to get it, dribbles in, stops, pops, but C.J. Nixon a big block, and Weatherford comes up with it the other way, and Tate Sage. C.J. Nixon was waiting out, top the key. He'll fire a deep three. That one's short, though. Rush. Cash Shipley pokes away the ball from Nixon. The Boomers come up with the board as Hunter Mosley corrals it.
Good IQ for Shipley.
Yeah, good poke for sure. Reed now has it top of the key across the timeline. Picked up by Nixon there. Hand off to Kyle Martin on the right wing. Martin signals for a screen from Mosley. Left wing to Shipley. He's picked up there by Tate Sage. Swing it back to Caden Reed on the right wing. Bounce past Mosley, top of the key. Still looking for something. Now Martin on the left elbow. Hands off to Shipley. Shipley going to explore the space down low. Tries to put it up. He's fouled, though, and that might be
24 again.
It's either Tate Sage or it's Rehearman.
Let's get Tate Sage.
Going to get Tate Sage, I believe. Yep. And that will be his second, team fifth, and Cash Shipley to the line for 2 shots.
Gotta knock down these. Very important.
8-point lead now for Weatherford. We cut it back to 6. First one a bit long.
Not Caden Reed. Hunter Mosley is going to come out.
Ethan Naylor in the ball game for the Boomers. Second free throw for Cash Shipley. That one no good as well, so he missed both. And Rearman comes down with the rebound.
Makes 2, misses 2.
Weatherford the other way. C.J. Nixon pushing, goes from the right wing, tries to drive, and I thought Cash Shipley got a clean block, but they're going to say he picked up a foul.
To be honest, it looked like it was all ball, Tyler.
They actually got Kyle Martin, that's why. So it wasn't on Shipley. It was on Kyle Martin, who was kind of underneath Nixon. This will be Martin's second, team fourth, and now send C.J. Nixon to the line. He already has 6 on the night. All in the first quarter, trying to add to it. First free throw is good. So Shipley did get a clean block in our defense.
He did.
It's just, unfortunately, Martin committed the foul before him.
Shipley looked over like, you got to be kidding me.
Second free throw for Nixon is good, so he made both. CJ with 8, and Weatherford has all of a sudden extended their lead to 10 points with 4:40 to go here in the first half at 26-16. Boomers the other way. Caden Reed right wing, top the key, Kyle Martin. He'll fire a 3 from there in rhythm. That one a bit strong, though, no good. Long rebound taken by Jackson Smith. Poked away and stolen, though, by Carter Reed. But I think he got on the end line trying to save it and kick it back out. And it will be back to the Eagles. Tough to see there, Coda, because Carter Reed made a really good play.
He did, very smart, but just unfortunately, C.J. Nixon's right there. Like, give me that.
Yeah, and Reed ran out of space. It's tough to get around Nixon when you're kind of already in midair.
He's huge.
Nixon will take it the other way now, just pressing, trying to go for a huge dunk. Doesn't get it. Extended over Ethan Hill, no call. Scramble for the board, and now a foul called inside. Let's see who they get. Imagine it looks like it might be on the Boomers, and I think It's going to be on Ethan Neal. Neal, boy, he stood in there tall as C.J. Nixon skied for it. Was trying to get a big dunk over him.
I think he hit his lower back. Kind of hold it back there still.
It's not a shooting foul, so it'll be an inbounds here for the Eagles. Jackson Smith underneath the right block. Feed it out to the right wing. to Ethan Sage. Now Smith, now outside to Rearman, and he's just going to power up strong over Caden Reed for the bucket from the right block. And Rearman with 5 points now. Weatherford up 28-16. Caden Reed down the right baseline. Can't get the shot to go. Is off glass, but rimmed out. Good look for the Boomers. Weatherford comes up with the rebound. C.J. Nixon, right wing, the other way. Into the corner to Rearman. Rearman checks up. Oh, nice feed inside to Ethan Sage, and an easy layup from the right block. Weatherford now up 30-16, starting to take control here in the second quarter. 3:35 to go. Boomers looking for an answer. Kyle Martin, top of the key. He's going to try to drive on Ethan Sage. Puts up a tough leaner. That one just rims out again. It was off glass. Couldn't get the stick. Weatherford with the board. C.J. Nixon going to fire an outlet pass wild and out of bounds, and they go back to the Boomers. He's trying to hit Jackson Smith down the left side. But they're too far.
Man, did Nixon really throw that one?
He's got some arms to fire those outlet passes. He just.
No wonder his slam dunks are so huge.
Yeah. He's got some length. Boomers the other way, right corner. Carter Reed open for three. That one long though. Backside rebound gets out of Ethan Neal's hands. Almost had it. Instead it goes to the Eagles, and C.J. Nixon will push it the other way. Left wing, Nixon going to again try to challenge Shipley. Drives, gets inside, puts up a tough one. Thought he might have traveled, but they didn't call it. And C.J. Nixon, he's got 10 points. And just like that, Weatherford has doubled up the Boomers, 32-16, 2:54 to go in this first half. Caden Reed with it at the W. Right wing to Kyle Martin. Gets the screen from Carter Reed. Now Caden left wing three, and that one's strong off the glass, no good. Weatherford does come up with the board. And they're going to slow it down, feed it back to C.J. Nixon, and he's going to walk it across the Weatherford W and across the timeline. Shipley will pick him up far top of the key. Gets a screen, does Nixon. Tries to go down the right elbow. Now it's spin move in the paint, puts up the shot, but strong, no good. Rebound, though, by Tate Sage. That's no good. Third effort by Nixon as he skies in for the board. One power dribble, and that's in and good. And C.J. Nixon starting to feel it here in the second quarter. And a timeout by the Boomers. 34-16. Weatherford all of a sudden has blown this one up at 2:13 to go in the half. We will step aside with them on this timeout. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92. Back here on Z92, Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you. As we are in the second quarter right now, it's about towards halftime. Weatherford on top of your Boomers, 34-16. They have put on a run in the second quarter. The Boomers have just 4 second quarter points to the Eagles' 16 points. So it's a 16-4 run since the start of the second quarter for Weatherford. It's been a lot of C.J. Nixon. He has 6 points in this quarter. He has 12 for the ball game, leading the Eagles right now. We've also got 5 from Tate Sage, 5 from Nate Rearman, 6 from Jackson Smith. On the Boomers side, Cash Shipley's doing his best. He's got 6 points as well, but only 1 basket apiece for Carter Reed, Caden Reed, Hunter Mosley, and Kyle Martin. Carter and Caden's buckets were 3s. Out of the timeout, Boomers with it. Caden Reed has it top of the key. Right wing, Hunter Mosley. He'll feed back over to Caden Reed in the right corner, but he's double teamed, trapped in that corner, needs some help. Finally feeds it out to Mosley, does get that help. Mosley going to turn a drive, try to kick it over to Carter Reed. Pass is tipped and stolen, though, by Ethan Sage. He'll feed it back to Tate Sage, and Weatherford controls it the other way. Tate Sage with it at the top of the key, picked up by Cash Shipley. Now feed inside to cut Ethan Sage on a dime down low on the baseline to Nick Jett, who flashed open, and that was just great ball movement by the Eagles. They put on another one, 36-16 now. They lead Woodward. Carter Reed with it, top of the key, goes right wing to, excuse me, that's Caden Reed to now Carter Reed, who will feed over to Cash Shipley. Left wing, they get to Ethan Neal. Shipley top of the key, he's going to cut through a double team. Feeds inside to Hunter Mosley with the tough pass. Mosley trying to power it up over Nate Reheerman, but can't get it. That shot's no good. Reheerman comes up with the rebound. Weatherford the other way. Ethan Sage down to Reheerman. Top of the key, Sage with it. Feeds back inside on a give and go to Reheerman, and he's going to get fouled trying to go up for the shot. Ethan Neal was trying to keep up with him, but Reheerman a bit too tall and a bit too fast into the paint.
It looked like Ethan Neal got a clean block on that, but unfortunately had a little bit of contact there and picked up the foul.
Yeah, I think it was more the body contact. You're right. I think he got a clean block, and then the body kind of is what got the foul.
Just unfortunate for him.
First free throw for Reheerman's good.
And his defense has been pretty good tonight, but unfortunately just picked up
He's trying to hang with C.J. Nixon and Nate Reheerman. That's not easy.
No, it's not. And for him to kind of accomplish it in a way, it's kind of been impressive.
Second free throw good for Reheerman, so now he's got 7, and it's 38-16. Under a minute to go in this first half. Shipley with it on the right wing to Josh Hagemeyer. Now left wing to Carter Reed. Top key to Hunter Mosley. Has a dribble to work with. Still looking though to pass. Goes to Caden Reed on the right wing. Right corner now to Carter. Carter Reed picked up by Sage. Going to get a screen, dribble around him into the paint. Trapped though by Reheerman. Now goes out to Cash Shipley on the left wing. He corrals it after a high pass. Now feet inside to flash it open. Carter Reed. Good two-man game there. Good vision from Cash Shipley.
Beautiful play.
Carter Reed finds a bucket inside. He's got 5 points, and the Boomers, for the first time in a few minutes, get a point on the board, 38-18. Just 18 seconds to go in the half. C.J. Nixon with it at the Weatherford W. Looks like he's going to try to hold for final shot. Cash Shipley, though, stills it on him straight up one-on-one. Boomers the other way, 10 seconds. Caden Reed driving. Left elbow, feeds down inside to Hunter Mosley. Mosley kicks it back outside. Pass is a bit strong. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Nick Jett tried to come up with it. Gets kicked out of bounds with a half second to go in the half. I believe it will be Boomer ball, looks like, and they're going to have time to maybe just catch and fire. Caden Reed going to do so. There's the buzzer, and that shot no good. And that's how we end the first half. Weatherford leads the Boomers 38-18. We'll step aside for a break and come back with the Dairy Queen halftime show. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Boomer TV and Z92. And welcome back to Boomer Basketball. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you as we are at the Dairy Queen halftime show here on the boys' side. Weatherford leads Woodward 38-18 at the break, and they used a big second quarter there to be able to extend this lead. It was 18-12 at the end of the first quarter with Weatherford on top. Well, they would outscore the Boomers 20-6 there in that second quarter, and that's how we get to the 38-18 mark. Some stats here for the Boomers. Cash Shipley trying to lead the way. He's got 6 points. Carter Reed with 5, and you've got a 3 from Caden Reed and 2 apiece from Kyle Morton and Hunter Mosley. On the Weatherford side, no surprise here, Dakota. C.J. Nixon, he's got 12, the only Eagle and the only player in double figures so far in this game. Nate Rearman with 7 points. We've got 6 points from Jackson Smith, 5 from Tate Sage, 4 from Ethan Sage, 2 apiece from Dylan Epp and Nick Jett. And Dakota, really in that second quarter, I wouldn't even say it was necessarily the Boomers were struggling so much to get looks. It's just all of a sudden you get a stolen pass and you can't convert on a couple of, looks inside and
a couple
missed free throws, and all of a sudden you find yourself down 20 to this very, very athletic Weatherford team.
Yeah, when you have 4 guys that are 6'6" and can all slam the ball, no question about it. It's going to be difficult, obviously. But the way this Boomer offense has came out and kind of worked with this Weatherford offense and defense, just trying to work their way around them. They've had good looks here and there. The three-pointers has kind of been what has saved us in a way for some of our points. We've seen a big one from Carter Reed. I think we've seen one from Kyle Martin, I think. Caden Reed. It's this team is definitely going to be hard to beat tonight. I mean, 6'6", 4 guys, all can slam it, can all shoot. It's interesting how well they play together.
And you can tell a lot of chemistry between them on that Weatherford side, and just a couple of mistakes. That's all it took for them to really grab a hold of at least the game for now. You still got a second half. You still got 16 minutes to work with, and we've seen crazier, but
we've seen Cash Shipley, stealing passes from the hands of C.J. Nixon, which has been good. We just have to convert off of those and not be silly with the ball. But other than that, we're going to have to come out and just play hard defense and really drive to the basket, because that's the only way we're going to get caught up here.
Yeah, well, it's just with the size of Weatherford, it's tough to cut them off from that basket. Boomers definitely try to do their best. Did want to mention, because we didn't get to talk about it in the pregame, but I know you and Coach Godwin kind of addressed it a little bit last week. The Boomers, of course, on the boys' side for the most part. I mean, I'm just going to say the entire school, because it's not just the Woodward basketball team that experienced it, but just before basketball season was, or essentially as basketball season was getting underway, assistant coach Rick Smith passed away. It was a tragic loss. I know the basketball team has been deeply affected by it, and they have kind of made it a point, in the early season to remember Coach Smith and to know, hey, you're going out there, you're playing a lot in the memory of him. He was a guy that I think for a lot of people that met would say, he was a genuine person. And I think he connected with the kids very well because of that, just, kind-hearted. And, Coach Smith was just one of those that could be tough to replace. I mean, you can't really replace a guy like that. And I know Kane Corneely has stepped up to be an assistant coach now with the squad, not too far removed himself from his high school playing days, but not that he's trying to fill the shoes of Coach Smith, but again, just trying to honor that memory and trying to play for Coach Smith for sure. I know his teammates.
No, I feel like Roper, Coach Hickman, and Coach Corneely can really provide something well for these Boomer players. I mean, obviously, Caden Corneely just came out of high school 2 years ago. Really had good shots for Woodward when he played. I mean, he came literally from the bottom to the top, and really was there for the Boomers when Coach Williamson was there. Had a record of 22-4, I think. Yeah,
and of course with Coach Smith had that relationship as well. So kind of some connection to be able to, as you were talking about, maybe provide some support along with Coach Roper and Coach Andrew Hickman for those guys, kind of get through that, put that into more of a positive manner, if you will, for sure. But 38-18 here at the Dairy Queen halftime show. Got about few minutes before we get this one back underway, so let's step aside for a break, and on the other side we'll talk some keys to the second half and get the second half underway. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92. And back here on Z92, Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you as both teams have gone out of locker rooms, gotten their warm-ups in. We're getting ready to start the half. Dakota, quickly some second half keys for the Boomers.
Definitely going to have to, I think we're going to have to pass the ball just a little bit more, keep swinging and keep swinging and keep swinging. Some of our drives, I feel like we kind of rush a little bit.
Maybe out of control touch, yeah.
But, if we just swing the ball just a little bit and kind of wear out that defense from us continuously swinging, maybe we can find an open shot for three and maybe get a couple of points back up on the board. Other than that, you're going to have to contain CJ Nixon. You're going to have to contain, all those guys that are 6'6" and above, of course. But other than that, contain and pressure.
All right, with that, second half underway officially as Weatherford will start with the possession. It will be Tate Sage with it, going right to left this half for the Eagles. And a bounce pass down Learman. There's a steal, or Rearman. There's a steal by Kyle Martin, and he's got it up to Caden Reed. Boomers come up with the defensive stop to start. Top of the key, Cash Shipley will have it. He's guarded by Rearman. Gets a screen from Hunter Mosley. Now three from Shipley straight away deep. That's no good. Offline to the right. Rebound taken by C.J. Nixon. Weatherford pushes the other way. Top of the key, Nixon's going to try to drive. He'll kick out behind him to Tate Sage. Will step back three from left wing. That's strong, no good. Rebound comes to Kyle Martin. He'll feed it up to Hunter Mosley. Now Caden Reed going to take it and slow it down for the Boomers here. So walk across the timeline. So Porter can get things set up like you were talking about, Dakota, and work it around and find a good look. Bounce pass stolen away from Jackson Smith, or by Jackson Smith for the Eagles. It was intended for Carter Reed. Baseline, he's going to drive, kicks a wild one out to C.J. Nixon, comes down with it. Cross court, right corner, three on the way for Tate Sage, and that's good. And just like that, they take that transition and find a three. Weatherford extends their lead, 41-18 now. About a minute and 10 seconds here into the third quarter. Caden Reed, top the key to Carter Reed, left wing. Back to Caden, behind him. Caden going to try to drive baseline on Tate Sage. Gets in deep, gets up under Sage, and gets the layup to go. Good move by Caden Reed.
Very beautiful and great effort there by Caden Reed.
And just waited on it, patient. He's got 5 in this one. Boomers now trail 41-20, and we got a whistle.
Have a little bit of a bump there from Cash Shipley. He'll pick up a foul as C.J. Nixon was going to go into the paint and try to drive for a score there. But Cash Shipley, a little bit too much contact on the side of the hip of C.J. Nixon.
Probably a smart one, though. You don't want the easy bucket for Nixon. Second foul on Shipley, first of the half for either team. Inbound for the Eagles. Tate Sage going to get it on the right wing. Now top of the key. He'll go to Jackson Smith. He'll drive. Kick over to the corner to Ethan Sage. Now top of the key. Tate pump fakes. Lets man blow by him. 3 on the way. That's good. Tate Sage back-to-back threes. And extending Weatherford's lead now to 24, 44-20. He's now all of a sudden up to 11. Top key the other way. The Boomers with it. Cash Shipley will receive it on the left wing. Hunter Mosley has it. Caden Reed. Now back to Shipley running cross court to the right corner. Shipley driving into the paint, takes a bump, turns around, puts up a tough jumper. That one rims out no good. That was a tough fadeaway. Couldn't get it to go. Rebounded by Ethan Sage. They'll feed CJ Nixon out to Jackson Smith. 2-on-1. Smith going to get the layup though. Tagging at Kyle Martin from the left block. So 2 on the board there for Smith. He's got 8 total, and now a timeout by the Boomers. 5:42 to go in this third quarter. Boomers trail 46-20. We'll step aside with them. It's Boomer basketball on Z92. And welcome back to Boomer Basketball on Z92. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you. Boomers trail 46-20. Third quarter, 5:35 to go here. Boomers have it out of the timeout. Cash Shipley, left wing, feeds inside to Hunter Mosley, turns around, takes the jump shot. That's affected by CJ Nixon, and it's out of bounds back to, it looks like the Eagles, unfortunately. Did get a text here from Eric Scott and rightfully. Hey, the middle school boys coach. We talk about the future and some of these young guys. Middle school boys, their season's already kind of been underway. 7th grade 6-1, 8th grade 6-2, had a third place finish in the Fairview tournament. So shout out to those middle school boys working hard.
Cash Shipley gets a good block there for Kyle Martin to take.
And Shipley does, comes up with the stop on Nixon there. Across the timeline, Caden Reed with the top of the key. Now right wing to Kyle Martin. Martin has the dribble. Spins back.
Shipley's open.
Feed inside to Mosley. Now right corner to Reed. Reed going to turn and drive. Carter Reed into the paint off glass and good.
Like to see the effort there by the young man to get the basket.
Yeah, clean move by Carter Reed. He's got 7 now. Boomers trail 46-22. Weatherford the other way. They'll swing it around. Ethan Sage going to drive from the right wing. He'll answer with the layup of his own. A tough one over 2 Boomers. Sage now has 6. 48-22, third quarter with 4:25 to go. Weatherford on top. Boomers the other way. Shipley right wing. His double team has to pick up his dribble. Feeds it to Carter Reed at the top of the key. Bounce back to Shipley at the elbow. Shipley going to pump. He's going to drive. Tough layup inside. No whistle. Was expecting maybe a bit of a call as he was double team between the Sages. Went out of bounds. They'll stay with the Boomers.
I think Sage got a hand on that and tips it out of bounds for Shipley.
But which Sage? Or you're just going to say Sage?
Tate Sage.
Okay, gotcha. Inbound to Carter Reed. Now back inside to Cash Shipley, who was the inbounder. Feeds it to Hunter Mosley on the block. Hunter powers one up over CJ Nixon. Can't get the shot to go. That's tipped around. That's going to be out of bounds. They're going to say, believe action on CJ Nixon. They'll stay with the Boomers.
I think it hit the side of the baseline, and then Caden Reed stepped out why the ball was already dead.
Right, yeah.
So that's why they called it that way.
Weatherford crowd thought maybe the Boomers touched it last,
Nope.
but as you mentioned it, it's going to be Weatherford last touch. Inbound. They'll get into Hunter Mosley in the paint now, swinging around to the left wing. That pass tipped, though. They're trying to get to Caden Reed. Was Kyle Martin. It was tipped out of bounds by Tate Sage. So stay again here with the Boomers.
Joshua Hagmeyer's going to come out and, come in, and Hunter Mosley will come out.
So it'll be Martin, both Reeds, Shipley, and Hagemeyer. Now on the inbound, Carter Reed, a tough move inside to the block, a hop step, and gets it over Ethan Sage and Nate Reheerman for the bucket. It's Carter Reed making it work down low. He's got 9. CJ Nixon the other way, dishes to the right corner, and Ethan Sage on the double dribble. He did. Good defense over in the corner by Carter Reed.
So far, the Boomers have found a couple opportunities to score here that have been, you had to work for it, but you're starting to get on the board here.
Problem is, Weatherford still outscored. Yeah, they got you doubled up 48-24 with 3:30 to go in the third. Top of the key, Caden Reed with it. Feeds to Hagemeyer on the left elbow. Back to Reed. Spin move in the paint. Now cuts through 2 defenders. Puts it off glass and in.
Wow.
Caden Reed said, hey, bro, I got to answer what you're doing out there. And gets a good one.
Man, someone get a highlight of that.
Oh, well, it's on Boomer TV, Dakota.
Hey.
See, easy shot out there. See, that's how it works.
Bingo.
Drive inside on the baseline by Jackson Smith. Goes up with a tough leaner on the left block. And that's no good, but he is fouled. So Smith going to go to the line for a pair of free throws. And that's going to be on Caden Reed. Just his first of the ball game. Second of the half by the Boomers. 48-26. Weatherford on top. 3:09 to go in the third quarter. Free throw up by Jackson Smith is good. On the first, he's got another one coming. Jackson Smith with 9 points in this one.
49-26.
49-26, trying to get to 50-26, and he does as Jackson Smith picks up his 10th point of the night, makes both free throws. Woodward now across the timeline. Caden Reed with it, gets a screen from Carter Reed. Down to the paint. Again, Euro step, this time in the middle of 3 Weatherford defenders, both Sages and Jackson Smith, and there was a whistle and a foul. I think that one will be on the floor, though. We'll see. It might be a shooting foul.
Tate Sage
going to pick it up, as you mentioned. Third foul on Sage.
Excuse me, that was on number.
Yeah, that was Ethan Sage.
Nope, it was on Dylan, number 4. They say. Oh, no, they put on number 23. Okay.
Yes, that's Ethan Sage. Second for him. Boomers going to turn it over on the inbound. C.J. Nixon with it on the right wing. Drives inside, takes a bump there from Josh Hagemeyer as he got to the block. Tried to put up a shot. Shot was no good. I think, though, this might be, will be a shooting foul. So Nixon going to go to the line. Hagemeyer picks up his first. It'll be Nixon at the line for a pair of free throws. Nixon with 12 on the night. Had all that in the first half. Is yet to score in the third quarter. And now rims that one out. So Dakota,
we'll take it.
As we talked about the half, you've stopped C.J. Nixon or slowed him down a little bit at least for a quarter. But Tate Sage had a couple of threes. Jackson Smith has stepped up, and Ethan Sage has a bucket in this quarter.
Yeah, just unfortunately, just when you think you start to contain them, they just kind of break loose and they start kind of back where they left off.
So 51-26 as Nixon makes the second free throw, split the pair. He's got 13. Moves the other way. 2:35 to go in the third. Left wing, Kyle Martin dishes inside on the baseline to Caden Reed. He's double teamed, goes up with a tough layup opportunity. That's no good from the left block. That was Nate Rearman that affected that one. Weatherford comes up with the rebound. They feed it to C.J. Nixon. He'll start the offense. Now he's going to drive top the key on Cash Shipley. Gets down at the left block, puts up a tough layup. Good defense underneath that time from Josh Hagemeyer. Forces the miss. Boomers the other way. Caden Reed left wing. He'll attack into Rearman. Off glass. Shot no good as it rimmed out. And a pair of layups miss, and Weatherford comes up with the board.
Might have to pass that one out next time.
Jackson Smith going to drive from the left corner. And a quick feed inside. They were trying to get to Ethan Sage, and he couldn't handle it. It's out of bounds, back to the Boomers. And yeah, Dakota, you like the aggressiveness from Caden Reed.
And he had that good basket there, but they on the second time, I think they found out what he was trying to do that time, and the third time it just didn't work.
Caden Reed topped the key with it for the Boomers. Now right wing to Shipley, and Weatherford essentially double teaming at the top of the keys. Feed inside. Now they find open Carter Reed. Lets 2 players blow by him. Up and under for the layup. Can't get to go, though. It was off glass and off rim. It was a good move by Carter Reed. Just couldn't finish it. C.J. Nixon with the board. Jackson Smith gets the outlet pass the other way. He'll try to drive a feed while he's tripping to Nate Rearman for the bucket on the right block. I don't know how Jackson Smith got that pass off. Nate Rearman comes up with the points, and he's got 9.
I think Carter Reed kind of tipped that forward just a little bit with his hand, and it slid it forward, unfortunately, but got a timeout here.
Minute 26 to go in the third. We'll keep it right here, 53-26, as Weatherford well on top of this one. And fortunately, Dakota, you've still got 9.5 minutes, but you're going to need a miracle to pull back from 27.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, and you talk about, last game, too, about how good those Weatherford girls was. It wouldn't surprise me if we see both the boys and the girls make a very deep run into maybe the state playoffs if they can get that far, because, man, both of these teams tonight here in Weatherford are sure showing the reason why they have 6'6" players.
They're flexing the muscle for sure, and I mean, they were young when they made those state runs last year, right? I mean, you had the Hoffmans that were juniors, and then all these guys from Weatherford, your main guys, were essentially freshmen or sophomore. They don't even have a senior on the team.
Just think how good they are now. What's it going to be like their senior year? I mean,
it's going to be scary to match up with.
It's going to be like they're just going to be slamming people every game, it sounds like.
Good news for the Boomers is, although these will be tough losses on film, it's early season.
Hey, it helps you.
Helps you grow quite a bit and say, okay, here's the stick we got to meet, here's the bar. Now you got a full season to work on it. We've seen crazier things in high school. I mean, we saw a state championship game where Cushing had beat Poto 42-0 earlier in the season. Or excuse me, Wagner beat Wagner 42-0 earlier in the season. Well, Wagner took the 4A state title over Cushing 24-21 there last week. So you could overcome what is perceived to be a big mountain. Off the timeout, the inbound, a bit of a mad scramble. Cash Shipley comes up with it down the left block. Can't get the easy layup to go. It's off the glass and out.
Handful of vents down there.
Weatherford the other way with it. Tate Sage at the top of the key. Left wing. Ethan Sage a move. He's going to try to drive into a host of Boomers. Gets the layup to go and the foul. Ethan Sage with the bucket and the damage. He will head to the line for an and one.
They're going to get Joshua Hagemeyer on the foul there. I think that's going to be his second.
It will be team foul number 4.
Yep.
Caden Reed going to come out for the Boomers. Or actually, no, excuse me, going to come back to the bench to talk to Coach Roper during the and-one opportunity here.
Looks like Ethan Neal might be coming up to get in the ball game here as he takes a seat right next to assistant coach Andrew Hickman.
And the free throw by Ethan Sage, good. So now he has 9. Weatherford now leads 56-26. They've got the Boomers by 30 with under a minute to go in the third quarter. Hagemeyer top the key, left wing to Kyle Martin. Martin looking, still with the dribble, now feeds over to Carter Reed. Beside him, Reed going to try to drive to the top of the key, spin move, guarded by Dylan up, under, can't quite get the floater to go, is just a touch short, rebound taken by Nate Rearman underneath. Weatherford the other way, Rearman with on the right wing, trying to show the dribble moves, picked up by Caden Reed. Now left wing, he'll attack from there on to Reed, turn around, a little hook shot with the right hand, that's no good, and a bump by Rearman going for the loose ball on the rebound. And he's going to pick up a foul, trying to
be his
call
first.
a shot. Just his first, and that's a guy that's a big man down there. Again, one of those 6'6" that has been able to play clean.
And man, he sure does look like it. He is very tall and lanky.
Boomers the other way, right wing, Cash Shipley with it. They'll swing around to Martin on the left side. Martin will bounce it to Hagemeyer in the paint. Hagemeyer going to go up strong over 2 Eagle defenders. Can't get the shot to go. Rebound skied for, shot by Neal to end the quarter. Or excuse me, not by Neal, by Ethan Sage to end the quarter, and it's no good. And that's how we will end the third. Weatherford leads 56-26. Step aside, come back with the fourth. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92. And welcome back to Boomer Basketball on Z92 and Boomer TV. Dakota Wagner, Tyler Riggs with you as we begin the fourth quarter here in the boys' game. Weatherford leads handily 56-26 over the Boomers. Quarter will start with possession to begin the fourth. Kyle Martin has it on the left wing, top of the key to Mosley. Now they go right wing to Shipley, into the right corner to Martin, who come cross court. Martin will get a screen. Thought about a 3 from the right wing, tries to dump it inside, but CJ Nixon is there to pick it off. Nixon the other way in transition to Rearman for the layup, and good. And so now 58-26, Weatherford on top. Rearman with 11 points. in the ballgame. Boomers the other way. Caden Reed gets to the free throw line, tries to fire a pass to the corner, picked off again by C.J. Nixon. Nixon in transition room, and again for the layup, and good. Back-to-back buckets for the big man. He is now up to 13. 7:10 to go here in the third quarter. Eagles lead 60-26 over the Boomers. Hunter Mosley with it, top of the key, right wing now to Kyle Martin. Check there by, looks like Ethan Sage. Hands off to Carter Reed, back to Martin. Martin going to turn, drive into the paint, gets down to the left block, gets cut off, now feeds inside underneath. Carter Reed with the moves, gets the layup opportunity, gets it off glass, off rim, no good. Rebound by the Eagles. Outlet pass up to Tate Sage. He saves it as it's too far, but gets thrown right to Kyle Martin. Boomers push the other way. Carter Reed with it right wing. Now dribble move there on Rearman. And gets cut off in the paint, has to dump it back out to Kyle Martin at the top of the key. Martin will reset, hand off to Caden Reed. 6:25 to go here in the fourth. Bounce pass over to Cash Shipley on the left wing. Top of the key to Mosley. Right wing to Reed. Caden Reed going to try to drive, and a swab by Nate Rearman. And he shakes his head, says not here.
No, I think that he was trying to tell him that this is my court.
Yeah. And he got some
and you're on my time
from the Weatherford student section. Inbound, though, coming for the Boomers. Trying to get into Cash Shipley. Some contact by Rearman, but no whistle. And Rearman knocks it out of bounds.
Goes all the way up in the stands, and maybe he's having a conversation with some players he knows.
Yeah, I don't know. Boomers will keep possession, but they trail 60-26. 6:15 to go in the fourth. Kyle Martin tries to inbound it. Again, a tip, almost a steal from Ethan Sage, but he saves it back to Caden Reed, so the Boomers keep possession. Caden Reed guarded top of the key by Tate Sage. Now flips it to Kyle Martin. Martin to the elbow to Carter Reed, and finally a whistle. I think they're going to get Jackson Smith, who was guarding Carter Reed at the elbow. And it will be his second, team third. So that'll be inbound on the baseline for the Boomers under the left block. Carter Reed will throw it in. Still looking. Now it goes outside left wing to Kyle Martin. Martin left corner to Mosley. Mosley dumps it inside to Carter Reed, but C.J. Nixon steps in front of the pass, knocks it out of bounds. So Weatherford just continuing to swat this away here. The Boomers are chewing up clock on this possession, trying to find something.
Chewing up a lot of time.
Will inbound from below the left block again. Mosley gets it. He goes outside to Shipley on the left corner. Shipley gets it poked away, stolen by Tate Sage, but Sage can't come up with it and dives for it, and it rolls out of bounds. Be back to the Boomers. Weird sequence there.
Yep, very.
Thought Tate Sage was going to have a clean pick, but he got tripped up. So inbound by Carter Reed to Cash Shipley at the Weatherford W. Screen by Hunter Mosley. C.J. Nixon steps up and steals it away from Cash Shipley. Now the windmill attempt on the dunk doesn't go. Cash Shipley there for the board.
Second time he's missed one of those.
He made one, and I think it was Learman that missed the other one. Mosley now, free throw line jumper. That's short, no good. Nixon on the transition, tries to dunk it over. Kyle Martin gets close, does lay it home. C.J. Nixon with the bucket. He is now up to 15 points. Weatherford leads 62-26. Caden Reed with it for the Boomers at the top of the key. 5:15 to go. And now another pass almost stolen by Jackson Smith, but they're going to say it's off of Boomers, so it was a forced turnover.
It looked like it was off of Weatherford, but unfortunately it's not.
Yeah, I thought Jackson Smith was the one that knocked it out of bounds, but instead they said it went off Caden Reed. So it'll be Ethan Sage inbounding for the Eagles. He'll get it in to Dylan Epp. Epp checked by Caden Reed as he gets across the timeline. Oh, and travel. Oh, I thought he traveled. Did not, though, I guess. Epp has the top of the key. Right wing to C.J. Nixon. Now feed inside to Tate Sage. Sage up and under on the layup. Doesn't go. Good defense by the Boomers, but the rebound comes right to Dylan Epp, and he gets the bucket on the second chance. Unfortunate there for the Boomers where it just went right to Epp. Caden Reed across the timeline now for Woodward. Directing traffic, dribbles over to the left wing, looking for Cash Shipley, top key, finds him. Screen set by Hunter Mosley. Shipley going to turn, drive to the right block. Learman.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my. Rearman on him, and Shipley gets the layup. Wasn't even looking at the basket, was getting knocked down, gets the and one. Jeez, what a bucket.
Cash Shipley.
Shipley with just 8, but no other Boomer has really matched him. Carter Reed has 9. They're the leading scorers for Woodward.
See if Shipley can get the and one here. Unfortunately, he cannot.
Does miss the free throw. Rearman picked up his second foul. the game. 4 fouls apiece here in the half for each team. It's off the missed free throw. Weatherford the other way. Quick three by Tate Sage, and he nailed it from the left corner. Tate Sage. He's had 9 points in the second half, 14 for the game, and his 9 of the second half have been all from three-point land. 67-28, Weatherford on top. Boomers the other way. Caden Reed trying to drive from the left wing, and it gets knocked out of bounds and poked away. He'll stay with the Boomers.
Just 4:06 left to play in this one, Tyler.
Yep, winding down for the 5 minutes. Boomers just essentially looking to execute here to end the game. You're not going to win, but you want to try to continue to build some momentum into the Compass Athletic winter tournament. Shot there by Cash Shipley was missed. Weatherford with the board. CJ Nixon the other way. Now bounce pass down to Rearman, who goes up for the layup and gets it. And Rearman now, he has got 18 points in this one. Or excuse me, 15 points instead of 18. 15 points in this one. He's got 8 in this half.
He's really controlled the paint tonight, Tyler.
Well, it's those 4 guys, the Sages, Rearman, and Nixon, that are all balling out. Top of the key, Cash Shipley straight away 3, nails it.
That's what I like to see.
He gets double digits with 11 now. Boomers trail 69-31 with 3:25 to go. Weatherford the other way. Cross-court pass attempt. Tipped and picked off by the Boomers, but it's turned right back over. Weatherford with it. Rearman with the dunk. And that's another 2 for him. 71-31. Nate Rearman with the dunk. 3:05 to go. Boomers have it. Trying to push. Caden Reed, right wing. Top key. Shipley thought about a 3 again from there. Didn't take it. Tries to dribble through a double team. And now all 3 players wind up on the floor. Shipley, Dylan Epp, and Nate Rearman. And they're going to tag the foul to Nate Rearman, the big man.
Ethan Neal is going to come in. Hunter Mosley will come out. I think that's going to be your subs for the Boomers. But on the other side, we've got a couple for Weatherford.
Yeah, starting to somewhat empty bench. Nick Jett, who sees some time for them, he's into the ball game. They're trying to get Cash Jennings in. They will.
They got number
They'll
1
take out
and number 3
Tate
as
Sage.
well.
Number 1 will be Cy Scamahorn, one of their football guys. And Jackson Meyer, number 3. Inbound for the Boomers, stolen away by Tate Sage, the lone starter in there, running the second unit. Right wing, he'll go to Scamahorn. Down the right corner to Meyer. Back inside on the give and go to Scamahorn and gets the bucket. 70, I think that's 73-31. Yep, it will be. Weatherford on top. Caden Reed with on the right wing for the Boomers. Pulls up from the right block. Can't get the shot to go, but a foul. And he should be going to the line. Caden Reed could get that bucket, but will get 2 free throws. And Tate Sage picking up his 3rd. And it's Weatherford's 6th team foul and a half.
There's 2:33 left to go. 2:34, excuse me. There we go, Caden Reed.
First free throw, good for Mr. Reed.
And we've got a timeout on the floor. Nope, substitutions instead.
Yep, some mass substitutions. Seeing
everyone's coming out.
Connor Sutherland coming in, Luis Corral coming in for the Boomers, Josh Hagemeyer, as well as Caleb Luthi.
Connor Price will be checking in for Caden Reed after this free throw if he makes it.
And Reed does make it. So as you mentioned, Connor Price will come in now for the Boomers. So the essentially the 2s both ways as Tate Sage was taken out for Hunter Nelson, who's into the ball game for Weatherford.
Let me tell you, Connor Price, he can shoot the ball.
Oh, he can do it. Sky Samerhorn has it on the right wing. Now he'll feed top of the key to Cash Jennings. Left wing, they'll go to Nelson. Nelson going to turn, drive into the paint, feed down low. Basket good off the glass by Cash Jennings. Good find by Nelson to Cash Jennings. Boomers the other way. Josh Hagemeyer with it. Tries to drive from left wing. Gets trapped up. Has to kick it back out to Connor Price. Price going to take it from there. Feed it to Luthi. Now to Connor Price for a right corner 3. That one offline, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds by the Boomers. And be back to the Eagles. 75-33, minute 55 to go in this one. Weatherford going to be 2-0 on the season. The Boomers going to fall 1-1. Weatherford going to get the clean sweep between JV and varsity tonight. Unfortunate loss for both squads, but we'll talk about more in the postgame. Just a lot you could still build on going forward. And down here for the Eagles. Cash Jennings will take it. Guarded by Caleb Luthi. Across the timeline, now they go left wing up to the top of the key to Hunter Nelson. Feed it over to Brody Willis, who's into the ball game. Now they go into the corner to Yukon Butler. It's Swinging around right wing to Willis, out of the right corner, and pass picked off and stolen by Josh Hagemeyer. He's going the other way in transition by himself. Can't get the layup to go. Good recovery defense there from Hunter Nelson in transition. Hagemeyer can't get the layup. Weatherford the other way. Jennings inside, a tough leaner. Cash Jennings with another bucket. That one from the right block, and it's 77-33. Connor Price with it, top key for the Boomers.
It's Caroline Price, younger brother.
Yep, and has the red hair as well.
Oh, yeah, he does. And
Price
going
to drive, floats one up off the block. That's no good from the left side. Rebound taken by the Eagles. Bounce pass up to Cash Jennings in transition.
Whoa.
A block by Josh Hagemeyer. Follow-up shot there from Nelson, no good for the Eagles, and the Boomers come up with the rebound. Connor Price has it, 45 seconds to go. Right wing, Hagemeyer got a pump drive from there, gets into the paint, right block, puts up a tough one over two Eagles, can't get that to go. Connor Sutherland trying to fight for the rebound, but gets knocked off of him. And that'll be out of bounds off the Boomers to the Eagles. Now Josh Hagemeyer will come out, bringing in a new Boomer. That'll be Mason Mooring,
Hey,
the sophomore. The
we know that name.
back receiver, yep. And one of the tall football players.
Let me tell you, he's an athlete, that's for sure.
He is. I don't know how much basketball he's played, but I'm sure he will. He's a good enough athlete, he'll figure it out quick.
Oh, yeah.
Had a big year on the football side. Off the inbound here for Weatherford. It's out of bounds. Will be back to the Boomers with just 30 seconds to go. They trail 77-33. Connor Price, right wing to Luthi. Back up to Price, top key, gets a screen from Sutherland. Dribbles to the elbow, now the block, kicks it back out to Sutherland. They'll work it around to Luthi. He gets a screen, pulls up long two, and that one rattles around just off loose crowd. Though with the board underneath, puts it back up, gets the bucket, but I think the foul occurred before the bucket. I don't think he'll get the and one there.
1 and 1, yep. They're going to, unfortunately, not give him the and one, but
It's a
good
good
to get there
job
in time.
by Luis to get that back up. The foul going to be on Jackson Meyer, his first, and a 1-1 as mentioned. First free throw for Crowell, good. Nothing but net for the senior.
I think scores his first points.
He does. First point of the night. 77-34. Second free
And
throw,
back
money.
to back. Hey,
Well, if you need clutch free throws, Luis Crowell's got it. 77-35. Weatherford leading still. 15 seconds to go in this one. And
good job for
Probably
Caleb
gonna-
Luthi there staying with him.
Cash Jennings trying to
Oh,
drive.
wow.
Blocked by Connor Sutherland. Says, no, you're not going to get that last second bucket. Boomers the other way. Connor Price is going to lose it. 2 seconds. 1 second, and that's going to end the game as Weatherford takes it tonight 77-35 over the Boomers.
What a block, though, by Connor Sutherland.
It was a great block.
That was beautiful.
But with that, we will step aside for a break and come back and talk a little bit of post-game and what's ahead for the Boomers and what's ahead on K101 as well. You're listening to Boomer Basketball on Z92.